on, let me get Lisa.
I'm here too. Hello, good morning.
Hi, guys.
How's everybody?
Hello.
Hi, Krista.
Yeah, we know we're not perfect over here. I was like, I can do this.
We can do this. It's fine.
We got it,
Good.
man. We got it.
Totally.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm gonna pop the link in our Facebook group because I haven't done that yet. Copy, come join us. Come hang out.
Perfect. How is everyone this morning?
Yeah, let us know. How's it going? I'm still waking up. I have my first coffee.
Coffee. I had 2 coffees, a chai tea, and now I'm just drinking some drink.
Chai. How do you do your chai? I'm sure you've told me before, but
well, I did it different this morning. So this morning I like heated the milk. So I made it in milk instead of like water, like I usually do, and then just kind of add cream or whatever. I did it straight in my milk, and I put some brown sugar in there. Oh, it was so good.
Brown sugar, yum. That's perfect. Brown sugar with chai.
It was delightful. It was delightful.
So cozy.
Yeah, I am caffeined up and ready to go.
I mean, I'm slow start this morning, but I got up with plenty of time. I was not totally panicked with getting ready, so that was nice. But I made my coffee at the last minute, so first sips.
That's all right. Take them first sips. So you guys, today we are talking about all the divination things. Like we use our tarot for certain things, and then all the other beyond
everything,
things, all the things. So we thought that would be just really fun to kind of like show some of our stuff that we use and talk about that because we talk about tarot so much. So it's like it's about all the things, all the
other things. There's so many things you can play with. My favorite thing is finding out how people, and so if you've done this, definitely tell us about it. But I love hearing how people have taken things that are not normally associated with divination and made them into divination tools. That is like one of my favorite things to hear about. And people out there have been very, very creative in the past. So
oh my God, yeah. So much fun to hear about stuff like that. I've seen people make like trinket bags and like instead of like throwing like stones or throwing bones or whatever, like they make like trinket bags and do that. Like I just think that's so neat. So freaking cool. Well, happy Mother's Day.
Is it Mother's Day?
In the UK? Yeah.
Oh my God. Happy Mother's Day to the UK moms.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so out of the loop on this.
No, I didn't know either.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's coming up. I forgot about that.
Me too. When is Mother's Day in this side of the pond or whatever?
May, right? May.
Yeah, I guess it's May. Wait, we're ways off.
Hi, Peggy.
From you? Of course she's hiding.
Peggy says good morning.
Good morning. Sheila needs medication.
Sheila.
Oh, Sheila.
One of these days.
Yeah, she's like, no, you have to climb under the table to get her.
She knows that she's in a hard to reach spot.
Yep.
I'll deal with her later.
Little con artist.
Yeah.
Oh.
She wanted to hang out like Bruno yesterday.
Oh my God. Well, she wants to hang out and she's trying to avoid her meds. So she's on antibiotics right now and she gets them right after she eats. So as soon as she ate, she ran in here and hid under my table.
Like, nah.
No, not today.
Not today. No way.
I didn't spill it. Okay, good. Not me bumping my table, trying to spill my coffee already. I have been so accident prone lately. I don't know what my deal is, but I have been running into things, knocking things over, spilling things. It has been a whole experience. Bruno.
Hi guys. How you doing?
We're having a chaotic morning. Bruno.
He's fine. He just
in or out, dude.
He's always here for the chaos.
Freaking out just thinks he's not allowed in.
Okay. I think we're good now.
See, it's okay. Okay, guys, have a good chat.
Thanks. Bye. You know, morning craziness.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God. I can't see the chat. Oh, it's not big enough. That's why. That's so much better. Oh my goodness.
Hooray. I pull mine up in here. I don't even pull my other stuff. So.
All right. Pick a random thing And let's
look. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna hunt through this and I'm gonna grab the first thing. Okay.
what are we talking
What about charms?
about? Oh yes, I've got charms. I do not use my charms very often, but I absolutely love them.
I got
What is
3 different bags
I have one.
for different.
I have 3.
Do you too?
I do. I have 2 different tarot sets. I have a tarot set that I had from before from Carrie Paris, I think. And then I have the set we got at StarCon, which is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's these.
Actually, this is my favorite of the 2 sets. The first one that I got, the way that they handled the tarot was, so you have all the majors and then you have like little chess pieces for like your courts. So like a little knight or pawn or whatever, queen, king. And then you have a wand, a cup, a sword, and a pentacle in here, and then you have a die that is a 10-sided die.
Oh.
So if you get a cup, you could roll the die to see which card
cup?
that is, which does work. But what I really love is in this one we got at StarCon.
These were so cool. This was made by look, I have the hold on.
Do you have the card?
I do. I have it in my journal, which should
Wait,
be...
I have mine handy. Hold on. I have mine handy. Lady Lenormand's tarot charm. Yes, it's this person.
Oh,
so I'm gonna flip it because there's a QR code and like a website.
Yes.
So this one, what I love, oh my god, first of all, the charms are really fun, but there is these little blue like number charms in here.
Yes.
I'll be able to hold it.
And like,
so
they have the cutest. Come on, don't look at my face.
Oh, that's my favorite one too.
Little
coffin. I love it with the little hand coming out.
This
one is the judgment. Isn't that what we figured out?
That's, yes, that's the judgment because
this little guy is death, right?
Yes. And then there was even like an actual high priestess.
I know. Oh my god. And I just realized I could actually pour out both sets and like pick my favorite from either set. Because there might be ones where like my favorite, like maybe a better major and the other one are back and forth, you know?
Yes.
I just realized I could do that. Ooh, that would be fun.
We have the Eiffel Tower for the tower.
The other one had the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh, that's cute.
It's so great. So okay.
Do you use these?
Well, no, this is what I was gonna say, because the funny thing is, because it's tarot, I haven't found myself reaching for these because I'm like, well, but then if I want to do tarot, I'm going to do the cards, or I've got tarot charms that are, I have the charm cast tarot, which is like little tile type tarot.
Oh, the tiles.
Like
that's true. That's true.
That's the one that you
can stick on a necklace, right?
Yeah. So it's got this pendant and you can pop it in and then you just use another magnet to pop it back out. So like that's the magician. This is all stick figure based, but so I keep this like strong magnet and this pendant together with the set. But yeah, these are great. I love these, but they're actual cards. And I find that just easier for my brain if I'm going to like toss tarot charms to use those. I'm a little stumped on how to use tarot charm sets because I feel like when I have played with charms, it's often to cast over cards, in which case I want other stuff, almost like an oracle. Like oracle with tarot versus tarot with tarot. And that probably comes from the part of my brain that doesn't typically combine tarots, which I could. I don't know why I don't, but I typically don't.
I usually don't either. Like it's very rare. Like I did the Grand Tableau one where I did combine 2 tarot, but like it's rare that I do that.
Yeah.
You know, so I was the same way because I was curious how much you use those because I do have, that's the only set I have that has like actual like tarot charms. I've seen people just talking about like Lenormand charms. Which is really cool. That would probably be really cool.
Oh,
but again, I love my. And then somebody just said something about Fae charms. Obsessed. Do want to see? Yes, please.
Krista says, yeah, you could do an oracle deck and then cast tarot over top. That is true. I am tempted. I think what I might be tempted to do is I have my like master charm set, which I've been slowly I just add shit in here. This used to be. It used to be this one, Fortuna's or a casting oracle. So a lot of these are like little lucky things and stuff, but I've added to it over time. So there's like an there's like all kinds of stuff. But what if I added the tarot in? Like, what if I mixed all of them all together? That.
See, but like I didn't do that because like I have mine, which like I've literally I I made my own. I just kind of gathered it throughout. Like, so I have like little chunks of wood in there. I have like little things that I've like found. This is a little robin, and my my maiden name is Robin, so I got my little robin
I
because
love that.
that represents my family. But like, come on, bro. I have like little shells.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I have like word, but I also have something else to show with this. Come on, bro. My camera's like, nope, want to see your face. Shh.
Your
Trust me when I say there's a word on there, okay? There's a word on there. So like, I just have like all kinds of little trinkety charms in my own charm bag that I've just kind of collected. But I also have a word.
Oh, really? All words?
All words. So I found it. They have a word on each side. And so I made my own. Sometimes when I make charm sets that I throw up on my Etsy shop, I'll put some of these in there. But I have a bag full. And so they look kind of like this. But each side, so this says some, and the other side says sing. This is friend and gentle. She and he.
So depending on how it falls, you'll get a totally different word. So it's like double
get a
the word.
totally different word. And like I literally, this is full. This is my bag full of the word charms, and I love playing with these. Sometimes I'll just reach in and I'll grab one.
I'm gonna need to know where you got those.
Oh God, where did I get these? This one has and then like run.
I'm looking it up.
And then out or in. So like
beads.
I got it. This was part of maybe at Joann's. This is like a craft store.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
And so you can actually make bracelets out of it. There's a hole through and through. But when I saw that, I was immediately, I'm like, charms.
Oh, I found a set. Hold on a minute. Oh wait, this is Canada.
Forever and then special.
Oh my
so much fun to play with. These are probably my favorite charms to play with, honestly.
Oh my God. Okay, I found a set that's black and with like neon colors.
Oh my God.
Hold on, I'm gonna share the link, y'all. If I can just get in. Okay, there we go. Copy. Paste. There. There's probably types all over the place. Yeah, for real. But I found this set that's black with neon. It's got like love, kiss, good, star, happy, cool. It looks like a lot of them, almost they've got USA and stuff, but like a lot of them look look like they repeat or something.
Yeah, see, this one had a ton. Like the reason I snatched these was because it wasn't words like that. This is almost like, you know, it wasn't like
cool. That's almost like word poetry. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
This is like, it has like the on one side, it has like ing, like you can literally almost like poetry tiles, like sun, like, you know.
Yeah, I love that. It's like the magna poetry, but
yes. So it was a lot different. There's like learn and make. So like it's not your usual like love, cool, BFF. Like it has none of that stuff on it. You know, these are actual like words.
So do you pass those over cards? Like, do you? Yeah,
I will toss them over cards. Sometimes I will have like I keep them on this little thing right here. And so sometimes even when I'm at my altar, what I'll do is I might pull a card and then grab something from in the bag and like kind of toss it down to see what's there or whatever I'm doing. I use it a lot on my altar itself. That's where I keep those. And so above all charms that I have, like I've used those tarot ones, I think twice because I used them again the other day. And then I'll use my charms every once in a while. I went through a phase where I used them a lot more often, but like I've kind of slowed on that. But these are my ultimate favorite, are the words.
I love that. I'm really tempted to literally put all of my charm sets into just one. Because if I get a tarot related one, I can read it that way, but I don't have to. Like if it's all blended together, I wonder if I would just use them all much more often because I love reaching into like a big thing and grabbing like a handful. And the more you have with that, I feel like the more interesting it gets. It's funny because I don't always, I know a lot of people really like working with like a really curated set. I like having like a big like mixy matchy. But the words are really exciting. I'm trying to think of like all the ways that could be so interesting. You could cast over Oracle and combine the words with the keywords and like, oh my God, that just makes my brain
Oh,
tingly.
you can literally just pull these and like create something out of it. You could use it for spell work. You could use it for, just creating poetry with them,
play.
or like, things like that. I play with them all the time. I love them. And they're plastic.
Yeah.
But like I said, the ones that I showed in my actual charm, they're from like it's a lot of jewelry charms. And so they do have some really cool words. Like this one says play on it.
Oh, I love that.
Now you can see. But these are metal. But again, there's something about those other ones that I really like. And I don't know I don't know. My brain is like, don't mix them. No. So like, I'm like, maybe I won't mix mine. But yeah, I don't know.
No, having them separate is good, because if you decide, like what I'm thinking is, as long as they're all there, I can always build my own set whenever using the pieces. So I'm like, okay, I can re-separate it out if I ever want it separated out. But no, it's one of those things where like with your words, I wouldn't mix those with anything, because I feel like they're so like you can just use them as their own thing. Have you used casting claws? Like I have one. I was going to show it, but this came with my Carrie Paris set. I actually did play with this, and it was kind of cool because it's got like,
it is cool.
There's like a tower, there's like a person, there's all these like glyphs on it. So there's like a ladder, there's a candle, a snake. This is kind of cool because it's not a specific system necessarily.
Yeah. See, I have one. Let me grab my
skeleton, a tree. There's like a bird, a moon. In little quadrants. I thought this was really cool. So I've kept this one because it's so unique. I don't usually like claws that are this like light and wrinkly. They drive me a little crazy. But it's perfect. So I keep it in my charm casting in like this bag that has all my charm casting sets in it. The Emerald Lotus casting claws that you have, Renee, are those what am I trying to ask? Oh yeah, are they neoprene or are they like fabric? I ask because I know Dawn's mentioned that neoprene can be kind of bouncy, and I wonder if it'd be, mind you, that's for dice. I don't know if neoprene would be bouncy for charms or not. Maybe not.
I thought I was going to be able to find it easy. The only thing, I don't have any cloths, although that one is so freaking cool. I do have a casting sheet that I have in my journal that I'll open to, because I also have this little bag that I have of the charms that I kind of created, which I do like to curate charms. Like that's what I do when I make the ones for my shop. I love to kind of put like a big mix of things, but they all kind of correspond visually, Oh, here it is. I had it marked. So this is what I'll use sometimes.
Oh, that's cool. And what are these categories you have? Self, health,
travel, finance, home, love, spirit, and advice. And then I have a sigil in the middle that I created. And then on this side is a description of some of my charms. I haven't updated it in a while, but I usually grab two or more keywords for each of my charms, like just to kind of keep it in my mind. And sometimes I just forget all about it and I just throw it and I'll be like, what does that mean to me? Or like my lotus, calm, purity, rebirth. I have a dime in there apparently. So good fortune.
Oh, I love that.
Feathers, keys, arrowheads, owls, an Ogham symbol, medallions, like shells, and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so if I'm going to cast it onto something, I'll usually do it here.
Yeah. I love that.
Like, instead of a mat or anything like that, I just use it here, because otherwise I usually just cast it with my cards, or like I'll reach in and I'll grab one before I start, Yeah,
that makes sense. I was thinking about this like little charm cast tarot too. Like it's funny because when the tarot tiles were first a thing, I got a set, and that was back when Jamie was like cutting everything out by hand and like hand engraving everything and like, or wood burning everything in. And I've had those sets now for, oh gosh, you could look at my channel when I first talked about them. I've had those tarot tiles for years. I've never, other than when I first got them, I've just never really used them, which is so interesting. They're so great for tableaus. That is one thing though I will say, is having those. But now that I have these little metal charm casts,
Even smaller.
they're even smaller. They're metal. And the one thing I have an issue with the tarot tiles is they stick together. Like it's not as satisfying to put them in a bag because the resin kind of clings and clumps. And I've tried things to like not have it do that. And you're not really supposed to store them like all in a bag or whatever. But like that, it's an extra step of work that I don't have to do with these.
Exactly.
So I find that these are quicker to hand. And like if I want to cast or if I want to lay out like it'll be great for tableau work. Like with that tableau tarot book, I just keep thinking like to have a teeny tiny. But yeah, I've really struggled to use the tiles. I'm curious, do you have anything like that that's like tarot but mini? Like
I don't.
Yeah.
Specifically for that reason, because I know with the tactile experience that most of those have, they're like in resin and they stick. I mean, that's just what it is. And it's so humid down here. I'm like, it would be a
yours would
disaster.
stick so bad.
They would stick so bad. And it's like, again, I want my cards in my hand.
I know, that's the thing.
Like, I need my cards. So that was a no-brainer for me. I was like, you are not going to use them as pretty as they are, as cool as they are. No. Because I know myself. I won't. I want to shuffle that deck, you know?
Same. Even my tarot, like I love those charm casts, but like I feel like I'm at the point where I probably should consider letting my tarot tile sets go and my Lenormand tile set go because I've had them for so long and I never, and they're so colorful and bright and pretty and I love them, but like I love them to own them. Yeah. But I struggle for how to use them. I'd be curious for people who have the tiles, like what your experience has been with using those.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like charm sets, like how do you guys, I mean, you guys have been talking about that probably already in the chat, but yeah, I know. Someone's used Scrabble letters. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's so smart.
I love the words though. I think because I don't want to have to on the fly make a word.
Yeah.
That's too much work. Give me a word. You use yours all the time, Tammy. Oh, I bet you do. I feel like it's a me thing. I think it's like I either want, like you said, I want to shuffle. I want to have the cards in my hand. I've got such a bond with the experience of shuffling and handling cards that I don't know that I can ever like quite break that to like. And that's probably why the tarot charm sets don't get used. And like I love my charm cast tarot because I can beat it up, throw it around, mix and match with other stuff. But like even then, it doesn't get used as often. But I've used it more than the tiles. So like
well, especially because you used to choose a card and put it on your necklace every day. So I mean, like that's still utilizing it, and that's still using it as a divination thing, tarot,
absolutely,
whatever. But yeah, I can see like having that almost makes a ritual out of itself. So it's still a little bit different than like actually casting. So
yeah.
Do you do any other type of casting? Like
I got when I think of casting, the main thing I think of these days is dice. So if you don't already know, y'all, let me grab my sets. But Dawn and I created this system, and I've really been like legitimately obsessed with it ever since.
It is amazing. If you guys don't have it, well,
I've got the link.
Do you have the? I was about to ask you. Do you have the link up?
I opened it up in another tab so I could share if we talked about it. This is a free thing, y'all. This is just something we did for fun. We wanted to create it for the community. Plus, we use it a ton. But what I love is this combines with tarot for me so well. These are my petrified wood dice. Your dice are so pretty. Holy cow. Let me see.
I got these in.
I love those. That reminds me of opal almost.
It does. I grabbed these in. I got mine from Amazon. I got it in like a pack of. Oh, those are so pretty.
Yeah, these are
like
wood.
A bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
And they had like the swirly ones and some that were kind of clear.
I love those. Very fae-like to me.
Very fae-like. And
these are technically my favorite, but I can't read them. They're
so beautiful.
These are my dichroic glass unicorn dice. I mean, on a black background, I can kind of read them, so I keep them in my little. This is my little tray that has my little unicorn
that
and
tray. That's so cute. I have nothing. I keep it in here.
The dice has become my number one casting system because, well, number one, I know it better. I still have to refer to the book. I haven't memorized it or anything, but like I know it really well. And I know that I can just like, if I want an advice die, I can just pull the D6. If I want a major arcana, I can just pull the D20. I really like how tactile dice are. I feel like they just do something to my brain like cards. But I actually keep a bag with like, I don't know, 10 different sets of dice like at my work, so that when I first get to work, I'll do a morning reading, right? For
Do
myself.
you really?
I do, yeah. And I will often cast over top. And so, but I have 10 sets so that I can pick a set that like matches the deck I'm using really
Yeah.
well, obviously.
Yeah.
But what I do is I cast it over the cards and then I'll take a picture and I'll go in with my iPad and I'll actually like I'll draw a marking around each number that came up to the top. So it's really easy to just zoom in and like look at it and pick it apart and do that. This system has been so useful because I feel like it's pretty balanced. Like it kind of covers so many different little areas, and it always seems to help add some depth or clarity to a reading no matter what. So that has become my sort of go-to casting, I would say. And it's the only thing that I think I've ever used consistently that felt like casting. Other things, I'll draw things. Every once in a while I'd throw some charms, but like this is the only thing I've ever had like a practice of doing, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a full practice with casting. It's one of those things that I do to add to something, or if I'm looking for something specific. So this is like literal going to for actual divination purposes, or to expand upon what I already have down or what I'm already doing.
Yes. What about Geomancy? Have you ever played with Geomancy? This is one of my systems I really want to study more.
Tell me.
You haven't? Okay. So this is the thing. I backed there's two ways actually. There's an easy way and there's like a hard way, but the hard way I actually like better, ironically. These are the Geomantic Visions coins by Prisma Visions. So they're actually based on the Cosmovisions, but you have the Geomantic, it's like a full one. Like instead of casting for each individual part of it and building it, you have all the Geomantic, I don't know what they're called. I forget what they're called. Somebody's going to know in chat. But the more traditional way is to use, where's mine? Hello? Oh, there it is. I keep it in this little shell. The more traditional way is to use either like dice or coins or whatever to build those like little patterns in those things. Cause it's like a positive negative sort of deal. So I haven't done it in a while. But included in that Geomantic Visions, where there are these completed ones, he had a set of the elements. So you can build your own. So there's like a lotus for water. There's...
a bird. Okay.
Is it a bird?
Looks like a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird. It's totally a bird. It was upside down, I think. Or not.
Yeah.
And then there's little, are these the fireballs? I think these are like little fireballs. I haven't done it in a while, as you can tell.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then this one. So there's a system where, sorry, I didn't show it right. So on one side, there's one. Sorry, this is the point. There's a positive, negative. So on one side, there's one symbol. And then on the other side, there's two. So when you cast it, you like stack it up like 2, 1, 2, 1, right? To build this.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And so there's a whole system. I've got like books to do it, and I practiced it for a bit, but then I stopped for a while, and now I've pretty much forgotten how to do it. But I can go back into the book and relearn. I thought this was a really cool system. I like that it's based on the elements. It feels like a complete system, much like I Ching or tarot or runes. Well, runes are a little different for me. They're a little bit more big picture. This feels more like holistic, like in the same way that tarot would be. These are fun because you can just draw one and then like look it up and be like, what does that one mean? Whereas these, you build your own and go through the whole process. Does Kelly have a class? Of course she has a class. I should take it. I signed up for her own class. More on that in a little while. I've literally got it parked in my email because you can watch it whenever. I still haven't done it. I'm going to whenever I have time, or make time, I guess is the better way to put it. But anyways, I think the Geomancy thing is really, really cool. And I like this kind of thing. This to me reminds me a little bit more of the dice. Like you can cast it and build your thing and answer your question. It's just really interesting, but it takes more time and mental effort than I'm always willing to put in. It's not quick and dirty. Like I feel like with tarot, it's quick and dirty. With Lenormand, it's quick and dirty. Dice, it's quick and dirty. But this is more like, it's probably just because I don't know it as well. It just takes so much more time to get into.
Exactly. So that made me think of something else. Let me grab this.
Oh yeah. Show.
Since we're on that kind of topic of all these like kind of casting systems and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you kind of talked about runes. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have a rune deck that I absolutely love.
Me too.
That's
Yeah.
the
What's your favorite? Yeah.
well, let me grab it. It's over here. I used it just the other day.
I want to grab mine. I'm going to grab mine too. We're just going to both disappear for a second.
Okay.
Okay. We're still here, but we're also not here.
We're here, but we're not here.
Oh, I had an idea and I want to ask the chat about it too, but
Okay.
before... No, later, not now.
Mine is the Runic Odyssey.
Oh my God.
Is that the one you got?
It's the
It
best.
is so good though.
It's the best. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's
Oh
so
my God.
good. I love it. I love that the meanings are in the cards. I love that there's keywords on here. I love the artwork.
Same. They also have the moons in there.
How do you use this rune deck and or just runes in general in your practice?
So with the rune deck, I kind of free flow a lot more. Like I'll literally pull one or two with my readings or whatever, or right before, or just to set a tone on my altar. I'll do that. That's one of my favorite things. And then sometimes, oh, you can't see him. Do you see my guy back here?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a rune hanging from him. Like I'll change it out. It's like I can draw it with chalk. So I'll set that on there. And so like I'll pull one and then I'll like put it places, you know, like utilizing that energy. So I think that's really fun, and it has all the information on the card because I don't know everything by heart with runes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just won't stick in my head. I can recognize all of them, but I have trouble naming them. But I'm like, okay, I know that one's for this. Or like, oh, I know the name of that one, but I don't remember what it's for. So I always keep my book. So when I use my runes, which I have a few, like I made my runes. I don't have any that
I love that you made a set. Yeah,
but
I love that.
These are made out of polymer clay, which was a lot of fun to do because I mixed colors and stuff like that. And so I have these like really cool, like the color. Oh, there we go. They came out really awesome. But I made those, and then I used to make them. I have some stuff to make some more, which I probably will because I just think that they're so much fun to make. And it's like so cool, but I make them out of stones or glass. And so I actually like go in and I etch them out. And so I etch them out and then I color them in. So they're like really tactile. You could feel it. I'll color them in with like rub and buff and
nice. Those look so good.
So I have these and
oh yeah, that's tactile.
I love that.
These are my favorite runes. These are cut from local pine and they smell so freaking good and they're huge. So like here's my hand. Like they're quite big. I would say like silver dollar size or bigger. Like they're quite large.
Quite large.
These smell large. These smell so good. I will stick my face in this bag. These are my favorite runes. I got these from a local shop. They were made locally. They're made from local wood and they just feel incredible. They're live edged. They've got like all the like real bark on the edges and they're just the most beautiful things. I will say that I have a thought. Granted, they don't fully stick, but I feel like the more that you build associations, the more that they'll stick. And plus, Don and I did a rune study way back in the day.
Yeah, I was.
I also have these little China plate ones, but I have a resource that if you can find it, I think this resource you would love. So I'm going to grab it real quick because I think you would be obsessed, and I don't know that you've ever seen it. And if you haven't, I think you must. It's like right up your alley.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen this?
I have not seen that. And that makes me so excited.
Yeah. So Brian Froud, The Runes of Elfland. I used this during the study and it is so much fun. But what it does is it uses like storytelling to explain the runes. So for example,
about like, oh, I have little cheat sheets and little.
So here's B for beginnings. There's like a spell type charm here about it. There's artwork. And it says the telling. So for example, for B, which is Berkana, it says once and on the other side of the hedge, when the green mist rose, a girl walked through her garden gate and right out into the forest. And it tells a whole freaking story. Like it keeps going. And you have the gift at the end, which gives you like a message about the birch rune of Elfland encompasses the cycle of birth right through to burial and all the joys and bumps in the road. And it kind of explains, but there's a whole story and it does that for every rune.
Oh my god.
It is incredible. I'm planning to get back into this actually because in my membership we're going to be studying Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, and I thought it would be really nice just to like have this as like a side thing to enjoy, to like really read it through and like spend time in it. It is beautiful. You all know if this is still in print, and I apologize, but it should not. I don't remember having a hard time tracking it down, mind you. That was several years ago. But if you can find this, it is such a special book. So if you can find a copy, I feel like if you had something like this, I feel like you'd be so excited to get into the runes with
I would be obsessed. Tell me the name of it again.
The Runes of Elfland. It's written by Ari Burke with artwork by Brian Froud.
Oh yes, Hunty. You can get it for like nothing.
Yeah. It's not something that ever went for like crazy out of print prices that I saw. So yeah, y'all, like scoop this up if you can get this. It is so gorgeous and it's such a treasure. It's one of those things that's like, it's like having a storybook. Well, that's what it is basically. And so because story is such a powerful way, as you all know how I feel about this, story is such a powerful way to get to know a system. It's why I use story in my stuff. I feel like it's such an archetypal way to intimately get to know something. I have another book, a couple of other rune books that were helpful. But they were more cerebral. It felt like studying. This didn't feel like studying. This felt like
that feels like fun. I anything that has like you can give me a tale, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing about runes in my practice, so for a long time, and I probably will always cycle back in and out of this practice because it's so useful. But what I would do when I would do client readings is I would always pull a rune first at the beginning of the reading. And how I would use that, because for me, runes, I've never been one to like pull 3 runes and do a reading. It's always been one. And the thing about runes is that they're almost like, they feel to me like the major arcana of the tarot. They're big, they're archetypal. And so if I pull one at the beginning of a client reading, it'll tell me right away what's the overarching energy, what's the overarching theme that we're going to be digging into. So if I pull something like Hagalaz, I'm like, okay, we're going to be going through it. We're going to be like going through some transformation. And so I would do it that way. And I would use either the deck or I would pull from these wood ones because they're nice and big and easy to see on the table.
I used to do the same thing. Honestly, I used to start my readings with a rune.
Yeah. I love that.
So that's very similar to how I would use them. And like I said, I use them on and off quite a bit. That's one thing that I've always gone back to. I just love the whole feel of them. Now, I saw someone talking earlier. I missed it. It was way further up when we were talking about casting and stuff. They were talking about the tree runes, the Celtic tree runes. Have you ever seen those?
The Ogham? Is that the Ogham you're thinking of?
Maybe so. That's what they were talking about.
I have an Ogham set. Where did my Ogham set go? It should be right here. Oh, there it is. It's in a tree bag, a leafy bag. So I have an Ogham set that's actually made from, this is the study I haven't done yet, but there's cards based on this system too. But
all the cards, I haven't used this system at all. I don't really know much about it, but I've seen yours.
This is the one where I really wanted to get to know this system because it's Celtic, which is more in line with my background. And I was like, oh, this is really, really cool. And I love these, but have I taken the time to study the system yet? No. I have a beautiful book that I plan to read one day. I have Kelly's class queued up so that I will watch that when I need to learn how, because I know she knows how to use these. This was such a great set I got from a place called Spirit of Old, and each one is made from the actual tree wood it represents.
Really?
So, yeah. So like if it's rowan, it's rowan. If it's birch, it's birch. And so that's how the entire, so every one is very different.
That is like awesome.
Feel and weight, like they're all different and carved. But this one is harder for my brain. I think it's because of all the like repeating lines. It's harder for me to look at that and memorize. Like with runes, there's a very clear shape and symbol. I feel like it's going to be easier for me. It was easier for me to memorize what they mean, but I feel like with this, I don't know if I'll ever be able to like go, oh yeah, that's that Ogham. Plus there's a lot more of them. I think there's like, I want to say there's like a full alphabet worth. So like 26 or somewhere in that ballpark. There's quite a few in here. So but I like the idea of being able to like draw out like a stave and like work with it.
Dude, that's really cool, man. I didn't know they had
It's
that many. Wow.
Yeah, it's a really neat system. These are Oghams, so it's spelled Oghams, and I don't know if that's the same by the Celtic tree runes, but I assume.
Yeah, it
It's very
says like
similar.
it's right there. Ogham. Yeah.
Oh yes, so turning it into tokens. Yeah, so there's different kinds. So there's staves, which is what this is. There's more token types, and then there is Ogham decks. And I was kind of hoping to find a good Ogham deck that had the shape of the Ogham, something like the Runic Odyssey.
Like the Runic
Something that
Odyssey.
has-
I haven't seen it though. All I've seen are the ones that have like the tree on it and the symbol. That's it.
I had a set like that, but it wasn't all that helpful. Like I want the symbol, some artwork, and like a keyword and the name of it. That's what I need. And so if I find something like that, it might actually help. I did have a quick question for y'all that it kind of popped in my brain when I went to get that rune deck, but I was thinking about casting, and I was thinking about this deck I got. This is the Mandala Tarot by Jennifer Stidley. She did that tarot disassembled, and it's all mandalas.
Oh yeah.
This is neat because it has like all the like associations around the border. So it'll tell you like the planet, the planetary, the elemental ruler, the tree of life, Sephiroth, and I think there's a keyword on here too. So like this is the Four of Swords, but it's all like a repeating pattern kind of thing, like a mandala. I was thinking this might make good little mini casting.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask y'all
You
in
could
the chat
also use
too.
that with your pendulum, which we'll go into later.
I have so many questions and thoughts about that I need to bring up. Because I was thinking that too, but I don't know how. We'll talk about that when we get
We'll
there.
talk about that in a little bit.
But I just thought this might be really cool because I haven't figured out how to use this as like a tarot deck. Because I don't think it's something I'm going to just like shuffle and draw cards.
I was going to say that.
But
Let me tell you something. I loved the deconstructed tarot. I love the look. That one I could not do.
See, I'm the opposite. I could not with the tarot disassembled. I loved it because it was like the nerd in me, the tarot nerd in me loved it. But like this, I'm like,
I don't like it.
I feel like I could do stuff with this. It just
let me rephrase it. It's not that I don't like it, but like all I see are the mandalas. Like I don't see the tarot in it, and I know that it's there. I know the symbols are there, but like when I look, it's not something that I aesthetically want to stare at.
Yeah,
and that's the regular one. Love. But with the mandala setting, like sometimes a repeating pattern is just not for me.
No, that's valid. I'm the opposite. Like I love order. So there's something that does to my brain where I'm like, I really like the order.
Chaos. And I think that's where we that's where we and Lisa diverge.
Yeah.
I love everything in order. I'm like, nope, throw it all in the mix. Sometimes too much order just like breaks my brain. I'm like, I don't want to see a repeating pattern because then I find where it repeats and then I hyperfixate on that air. Like, don't put me in front of wood paneling. Good Lord. No. I'm like, there's the repeating pattern. And so you'll find a little snail up here and you'll find that weird wolf head down here. And then you'll find like my brain will pick out every little thing.
Oh, I'll do that with certain types of patterns. Yeah, I'll do that with certain types of patterns for sure. What about coins? Do you use coins?
I do use coins every once in a while. I have a couple around here. This one, I can't really read well. I can't remember where I got this one. It's really pretty, but I can't read it well, so I don't use it. I just kind of keep it because it's cool. But I have yes or no coins.
Yeah, I have like a poo coin. I have a Three Trees Tarot one with the like sleeping bunny and the like.
So I have just like a yes or no, and I keep that one on my altar. That's why I turned around and grabbed it. I'll use those. I'll flip those. I just like the whole flipping of coins. I used to do that when I was young. I used to try to like do the flip on my hand.
I like using coins to build I Ching hexagrams. So you use a 3-coin system for I Ching. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So if you want to cast your own, you can just use that and build your trigram hexagram.
Oh, that's really neat. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about I Ching. This is all I have, and this is so much fun though.
I remember that when you got that.
This is so cool because this is I think it's called the Pie of Panda, PAI. Is it Pie of Panda? I don't know how to say
maybe?
it well.
Oh, PAI. I don't know what that is.
But this is what it's from. And it's got a great little book with it that kind of goes through. But check it. So you would pull, and then you can
build. Yeah.
And so this is the only thing I have with I Ching. So I don't know much about it. This is like as far as I've gone. And I've used it a few times, but it's something that I do want to play with more. I haven't yet. That's like one of those things, like, this is so intriguing. It's so cool, but I don't know enough. So I don't gravitate toward it. Like, I don't
enough. Yeah.
You know, I'm not like, I'm going to use my I Ching. Like, I literally haven't thought about it in months until, like, you said I Ching, and I was like, oh, wait, I have that.
I have a relationship with it only because of this deck, which I've had for years and years and years. This is the Tao Oracle by Ma Deva Padma, who did the Osho Zen. And it's based on the I Ching, but the book is incredible and the actual card system is so good. My favorite thing about this Oracle is the fact that because it's based on the I Ching, like the tarot, it is a balanced system with positive and negative, with challenging and uplifting messages. And it's basically got a system that tried to simplify the I Ching for people. So they both use the traditional trigrams to build your hexagram over here. And then over here, they created a system so that you could get to know what each one meant. So like they created a sigil system, I guess you could call it. There, you see them on the back here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can like get to know these symbols and know that these all represent one of the trigrams. So it's the same idea, but I think they tried to make it more accessible that way so you could understand them. But there's all kinds of cool things in the book for this that like help you build trigrams. They teach you how to cast with it. So I literally even keep with this deck 3 little pennies for building my own casting with it. And I've had this, like I said, for easily 15, 20 years, I'm sure, like in that ballpark, because I had the Osho Zen. So when this came out, I picked it up and I didn't know anything about I Ching. And I just thought this was its own thing. And then a long time, because that's not smart, y'all. A long time later,
you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. But that's a great way. I think if you were interested in the system, but you don't want to like learn it the same way or like have to study it to use it, I really liked that because everything you need. But that's kind of like yours. Everything you need is kind of in there.
Everything you need.
You don't have
and
to.
Like, it's really easy because then you can go and find the one, because on the cards, it literally tells you if you've made this, or whatever, this is, number 40. So I literally go to 40.
Yeah.
And there it is, deliverance.
Yep.
Untangling and taking apart. It's got keywords.
Perfect.
It's got a little paragraph, but it's like it's exactly what I needed to simplify this enough to where I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It was just so smart. And I was not sure about this deck. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
But when I tell you beginner friendly, very beginner friendly. And this is the author here, Z-Manzilla.
Z-Manzilla. Oh, that's so cool. It's neat that they put that all together in such an accessible way. I like that it's like trigrams, so you can mix and match and build. That's really cool.
It's really
cool. Do you have anything else you cast? I was just trying to think. I've got witches runes, but I keep them, but I've never really used them too much.
I've never used witches runes. I've looked at them 1,000 times. I even thought about making my own, but then I'm like, I don't know if I would use that as much because I like just playing with my regular runes. I think that's all I like actually cast.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I kept these. This is actually one of the ring boxes from Peggy and my wedding. Actually, we use these little wooden ring boxes. But I kept the set because I think it's cool. But yeah, I think my hesitation with this actually ends up being that I was going to say this is going to make no sense when it comes out my mouth, but I don't know the right way to express it. It's like it's man-made, but like obviously all the systems are man-made.
Oh, yeah,
new, contemporary. I guess it's contemporary.
It seems way more contemporary. It doesn't feel rooted in anything.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It feels very rooted. I mean, even back to charms, that's like trinkets. Yeah. People have thrown bones and,
yeah.
like when it comes to casting, like but I mean, they are just pieces of wood with stuff written on it. I mean, it's still whatever. But I agree, the symbolism doesn't seem as rooted in tradition, quote unquote,
Yeah.
as some of the other ones. So it's like, I can see how that could feel a little surface level. Like, well, then I can just make up my own stuff. I mean, we do, but like, why does that feel any different? I don't know.
Like,
I don't
obviously
know.
the dice system has way more meaning for me than this does for that exact reason, because it's modern and it's fun and it's playful, but it's something that I created, like helped create, whatever. And so it's got a personal association, but all the other ones I tend to lean into are ones that have been around forever and ever, it seems like. You know what I mean? So there's like that, it feels like there's a tradition around them, except for stuff like this. I have the animal speak runes, which are not really runes. They were like little wooden tiles with a keyword and an animal.
Okay.
But they're so cute. Look at, I don't think you can get these anymore. But like boundary for skunk. These are so great. I have these in like a little bag. But you can tell, like, I love things that have that tactile. It's just fun. I don't know. It changes things up. I like it. But yeah, my witch's runes, I don't really use those. That's it for me for casting. I don't think I have anything else that would be like a casting type tool.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Sam
yeah.
said that they made it own. See, I love that. Like,
yeah.
That's what I love about my charm set, is because I've curated that. Sometimes I literally pick stuff off the ground. That little robin that I have, I found that on the ground.
I love that so much. I feel like that's how that stuff was kind of originally from. It's like from the idea of casting bones. Like, I do have a bone casting set, but I collected I magpied all these items, but I never built associations with them, so I've never used it.
Yeah.
It just sits in my drawer. Yes, it's the panda paw bag this was from the first edition Way of the Panda Tarot, but it didn't quite fit the Way of the Panda Tarot. So, but it's perfect for this little animal rune set.
That's cute.
Yeah. I definitely like to magpie things, but that doesn't mean that I always use them. And I think my fascination with all these different like types of divination tools is just how different everything feels to work with.
Yes.
It gives you that variety, you know?
It really does, especially when you go for something simple like the flip of a coin. You could do heads or tails, or you can do, the yes, no, or the, whatever, like something so basic, so simple.
Yeah.
Then something so complicated, I say complicated, as like, the runes and the, I Ching and, whatever. It's
or
like
Oghams. Yeah. It's like a
Oghams, yeah. There, it can get super complicated, or it can stay super simple as a yes, no, black, white, heads, tails kind of idea. I love that kind of divination. I tend to, like I said, especially when I have something where I'm just like, I want to pull something about this. You know what I mean? Like, those are my go-to things because I just find them fun. With these, I use them. I wouldn't say for things that are less serious, because I mostly use them when I'm reading. I'll use them for myself, a little less serious. It's something that I just want to do for fun. Yeah. But like, I find I use this a lot in ritual work. Yeah. That's where it becomes serious to me, is when I'm using them in a ritualistic way. And like, I'm going for like, what do I need to know? How do I need to fit? Like, that's how I'm divining with them for the most part.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I love pulling in runes for magical work. I feel like they bring the potency for sure.
I love that.
In a big way. Plus, I feel like there's something about the neat thing about runes, I feel like, is if you're doing magical work, and I tend to build magical work in a very organic kind of, I guess the way people doodle is how I do. That's how I kind of always approached it. So with runes, what's neat is that you have a simple shape too that you could then build in. Like, let's say you get a reading and like the answer is like Sowilo, or you select Sowilo because of what it represents to you. Well, that simple S shape, you could draw that in salt on your table. You could like build it into a sigil. You could take 3 runes and create a bind rune. There's so many things you can do with them, like sort of magically. I think it just blows wide open possibilities for what that can look like. And it's pretty incredible. Yeah.
And in speaking with that, like, what about, like, I know it's not technically like divination, you're not divining anything, but like, I know that I create sigils.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll create my own sigil. Like, I need something, we're going on a trip, I just want like specific things. And like, I know some people use like only certain, like they'll spell out the words, they'll take out certain things, they'll use the shapes and do stuff like that and use like letters in their sigils. I don't always do that. But sometimes I'll take a rune that I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I want like a travel rune or something that, you know, good luck or protection. And I'll add that in there, but I very much freestyle that.
Oh God, I can't freestyle.
When it comes to my sigils, you're not a freestyler.
I'm not a freestyler on a lot of things, actually. No, I do the letter method, but I do use that as a foundation and then build on that. So like, I'll take the word, I'll take out the vowels, I'll try to like create this starting shape kind of thing, and then I'll start to build into that. So I usually start with that as a foundation. So then runes are really easy to work into that.
Right.
Or I could use a rune in place of a letter, for example. So like if I have a word that starts with B, like just because Berkana is on my mind, I could, instead of a traditional B in my sigil, I could work Berkana in, and that adds a whole nother layer if it's harmonic with what I'm trying to do. But no, sigils are probably one of the most accessible, easy ways to do sympathetic magic in a sense of like attracting to you what you want and like how you're trying to, what you're trying to focus on. And I think they're so powerful because of course I think our subconscious and the most powerful parts of our brain work so well with symbols and symbology or symbolism. Somebody told me I've been using symbolism, the word symbology wrong, and it's like been in my brain ever since.
I say symbology. Like I rarely use symbology. It's just not a word that's in my vocabulary very often.
It means the study of. It's like the study of. So symbolism is what we're actually talking about.
Yeah, symbolism.
I think it's
but I've heard it interchanged so many times. Like
me
you are
too.
not. So
I'm not alone.
I'm just like, it's not something that I've ever really said. So it's not, it's just not in my vocabulary in that.
Well, that's great. Good. You don't have to unlearn it because I'm never going to unlearn pecan either. So like,
it's
fine. I love that you love me anyways.
I do. I do.
But no, sigils are such a great, easy thing to do. And there's so many ways to do them. So you said you freestyle it. So that does break my brain a little. Is it more like doodling then? Or is it like,
I'll literally
shapes?
They're usually specific to whatever's going on.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had.
Also true, Micah. That's fair.
With it on, well, look, I'll show you with my casting one. I had it marked.
Krista. they're all like, as long as they understood what you mean, it's fine. Okay, yeah. It'll. There you go. Cool.
So that's just one of my things, but like, it usually I'll start sometimes with the letters, and then pecan is so wrong. I'm sorry. It's so wrong. I will die on this hill.
I love when this comes up, but also I can't get out of my head. And the way Ruby spells it makes it so specific.
It is pecan. Like I can't with it's a pecan, and I hear pecan praline breaks me. It's a pecan praline. Period.
I can't praline. I cannot praline. It's a pecan praline.
Get out of here with that crap. That's just me. I'm just being. You can say it however you want, but pecan, I will never, ever, 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 ever say because I'm not peeing in a can, baby. That is
Micah says it's pecan all day. Yeah, the fact that we can spell it that way and still say it that way, it does hurt me a little bit.
Pecan. Pecan. That's it. You get your pecan, you make your pralines, baby, and that's all you need.
Yeah. It breaks Dani every time. I love it so much.
Every time I'm like,
twitch.
No.
And I'm going to keep bringing it up forever because I know. Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes mine starts with letters and then I'll involve runes with it. And then sometimes I'm just like, I need an energy to come out from above. So I will put some sort of symbol that shows energy being pulled from somewhere or being pulled down from somewhere or being drawn forward or drawn backwards. And so I will also do that when I feel like there needs to be something fractured. I will break the line or I will put dots in its place where maybe you're trying to fill something or you're trying to remove something. So my sigil, I mean, I guess you could say kind of like doodling. It incorporates that, but everything has a very specific thing, except towards the end, sometimes I'm like, I feel like there needs to be something there, so I will put something there.
Yeah, like you're choosing symbols to represent the energy movement or the desire or the action you're trying to manifest, which makes perfect sense. So like that was kind of how we did the book Sigil Witchery in the Unicorn Fam. That's how we came up with our Unicorn Fam channel sigil. Actually, we did that together, which is amazing. But that utilized a similar method where basically you can look anywhere in the world for a symbol that would represent what it is you're looking for. And so it can be anything from like an arrow to like use arrows in that one sigil. You can pull in a heart shape to represent stuff, but anything. So you kind of like you call on that language of symbolism to pull in whatever is going to build into it. So that's a great way to do it. I get lazy and just use the letter method and then I embellish basically. But some of the coolest visuals I've ever made. Yeah.
The wheels, like people use
I've
the wheel.
seen the wheel.
I can't do the wheel.
Yeah, I can't
because I have this like. I'm like, I don't like how that line looks.
Yeah, you want it to look away.
My brain.
That's your artist brain, though.
That is my artist brain. I'm like, I can't have that line look like that. It looks weird. Mm-hmm. Or if something doesn't correspond in there, like, it breaks me. I know we're off topic. I know, but
no, that's all right. It's still a part of. I mean,
it's witchery versus divination, but
I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Okay, let's talk pendulums because I'm itching to talk about those.
I have a few of them. I brought this one to show. I love pendulum work.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about pendulum work. I'm going to show mine. I have a chakra one.
Oh, I have a chakra one.
So that's my chakra one. I have a heartstone one, which is my heartstone. It's that ruby in
ruby zoisite.
Or kyanite. Yeah, it might be zoisite. There's two. I think this is the ruby in fuchsite, I think, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, that looks like fuchsite.
I also have this one, which is really cool. It's a pentacle. This is the one I've had the longest because it's actually really a little. Pretty. But this is
my longest one. It's actually I was telling that to Lisa. I broke it.
Oh yeah.
That's my oldest one. That is so cool though. I've never seen. It opens.
So inside, I actually have a little tiny Herkimer double-pointed Herkimer diamond.
Yes.
And I've had this for like 25 years. And it is the most potent. If I'm doing if I want to move energy around or whatever. So the Herkimer diamond lives in there. But you could put herbs in there. You can do, because it's like a little poisoning kind of thing.
Like mind blown. I'm obsessed with this that you can put. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, mine, I need a new thing. This is my oldest one.
Did you add something?
12. I didn't add anything to it. I think I'm going to redo the chain and then put something in.
And what's the stone? What's that one?
This one is a gray.
Like an agate kind of?
Agate, yeah. This one is, you can see. I love this one. I've been using this one quite a bit. So it has a little piece of amethyst on the bottom, but this one it's an amethyst, but it's very light. So it's very God dog it, clear quartz.
It's just because it's moving, I think.
There we go.
Yep.
But can you see all the cracks and stuff in it?
Yes. Move it that way. It'll go. Just it has to wait for a second to find it.
Oh.
It's just moving. Come on.
Oh, this drives me, y'all.
There it goes. Oh my God. Yeah, we can see the cracks and there's a rainbow in there.
There's a rainbow in it.
Oh God, that's pretty.
It's just so luxurious. Then I have one that I really don't use. Hold on, I have it right up here.
This one's my smoky quartz. It's smoky quartz and it has a little raven at the end. And then I have a rose quartz. So I feel like I have something for all the different energies.
Oh, I love that rose quartz.
Yeah, the rose quartz one is one of my favorites. But I've had that little pentacle one, this little metal one. I've had this forever and ever. And I had the heartstone one. The smoky quartz came in a witchy box. And the rose quartz one I probably just bought because I love rose quartz.
I got this one in a witchy box.
Oh my God.
Look at this bad mamma jamma.
Holy shit.
It's like there's a a pyramid rose quartz with a tower rose quartz on top. So definitely drawing in that energy. It's got all the, I guess it's got all the chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it's got all the chakras. Yeah. And then at the end it is a metal ball. But whoa.
That is super sexy. Holy. I love that so much.
It definitely has a lot of good movement, but my ride or die is usually this one. but since she's almost dead and I have to fix her, I've been really using this one the past couple months.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I love the way it moves. It's substantial. I like the hole to it.
Yeah.
You struggle to use them.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, I actually want to talk about that because the way that I first learned how to use runes was for basically just yes, no. And so the only way I've ever used them is over my palm, and I will ask it a yes or no question. And for me, clockwise circles are always yes, counterclockwise have always been no. It's always how my pendulums have spoke to me. But then I don't understand, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I have like this little mini pendulum thing that came up.
I have that one in my book.
Journey Tarot. I have this, but like, I don't understand because mine just go clockwise, counterclockwise.
Okay.
So
with this one, you can ask and then it'll tell you, like right now it's swinging towards rephrase because I didn't ask a question. So it gives you a space for it to actually swing. So I have no rephrase, yes, maybe, will not answer, try again. But here's the thing with pendulums. I love answering just about whatever. I do a lot of yes or no with it. And I will often ask certain questions. And depending upon how it turns and how it moves, like there are sometimes where you'll get a yes, but it's very slow.
Yeah.
To start. So that means a specific thing to me. A lot of times, like I have clients that sometimes used to add on pendulum questions. So they would add like 5 or 2 or whatever. And for those, I would ask very specific questions. And for me, the pendulum speaks in the way that it moves. So just because it's a yes, it's like, okay, but I'm telling you, it was a hard to get to yes. So this is
like it trembles for a while before it will move, or it's sluggish, or like it swings really big, or like for sure how I think is a big part of it.
I have predicted genders.
I love this.
With this. I got another one, by the way, Lisa. After the one I told you, I got another one the other day. I am like 5 for 5 right now. Okay, so I'm like, anyway, that's my favorite thing. I love gender.
Yeah.
But I've also used it to find lost objects. Have you never used it?
Okay, how? No, how? How do you do that? Tell me about that.
Okay, I'm like, I know it's in this room, right? I know it's in here. I need to know about where. And so one of the coolest things with a pendulum that I love it, is that it will pull. So let me see if I can get it to, what do I have on the other side if I can get it to move? Okay. Okay, so it's starting to move here, but as you walk, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm kind of going the opposite way, but it's going to pull. It pulls. So it's hard to show because it's so long, and I'm opposite in my sides. So the pendulum, if you hold as you walk, it will start to guide and pull a certain way. So I will usually follow whatever way that it is starting to pull.
Right.
So I have used it for that, which is really fun. Does it always work?
No.
Not all the time, but I think that has a lot to do with energy that it's mashing with, and if you're walking, it's a little bit harder. So you got to kind of move and then kind of double check yourself to see where it's pulling. But I don't always use it for the turn. I will use it for the pull. So it will guide me in a certain direction. So that's how I use it to like find lost things. If I'm really frustrated, I usually grab it and I'll pull it.
I love that so much. I feel like for me, they've always been a mainstay. They've always been something that if I ever need a real, because I've never used cards to answer yes, no questions ever. I'll go to a pendulum. I won't even really go to a coin. I keep the coins because they're just tactile and fun.
Same.
But like, I don't typically go to them for that kind of thing. I want eventually to have 3 that are about the same size and weight so that I could do like I Ching and stuff with those. Or maybe 4 so I could do Geomancy with them. So I keep kind of collecting them in case I get a good set that like would work for that sort of thing. But other than that, I mean, I again, it's a magpie thing. I like having them. I think they're cool. But pendulums have always felt really real to me. That the way they've worked, I've had too many unexplained connections. So for me to think they don't work. Somebody asked who or what was it? Who or what is answering the questions when using a pendulum? I mean, I feel like it's whoever you normally work, whatever energy you normally work with. Like, so it could be your higher self. It could be like a deity you work with. It could be a spirit guide. It depends on, I guess, that's how I would answer that question. What about you, Dani?
For me, I feel like when I'm working with the pendulum, I feel like it's very much like, if I'm looking for something, I know this might sound weird, but I feel like sometimes it's the pull of the earth that will pull you know, like I don't know how else to describe that. It's a very grounded energy that has the ability to manipulate that for me. Yes. A lot of times though, if I'm using my pendulum, I sit with, like, again, my baby until she broke. I sit with that one pendulum. I don't switch them out. I sit with them.
Yeah.
And so I got this one because I was called to this one, and now this is the one that I've been using, but I'm still constantly being called to this one. And so I feel like there is a relationship with that. And I use mine a lot with, again, ritual stuff on my altar. I'm usually talking to ancestors, or I'm talking with deity.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that depends. Like if I'm going for yes or no, then I'm talking with the energy of the person that I'm answering a question for as well. But I do that with tarot. Like when I'm sitting with you, I'm sitting with your energy. So I'm reading 100%. In that energy. So when I'm sitting with you and you're like asking me a question, I will go to the pendulum and I will kind of sit with your energy and be like, I want you to talk to this energy and I want you to answer this question with me. So I guess it would be almost like a guide is kind of the way that I speak to it. Like my guide's going to pull in your energy and kind of tell me in my own terms, yes or no.
It's almost like a translator kind of thing.
Yeah. I guess
Google Translate, but for but for this kind of work,
But for the divine, I feel like I pull a lot from that. So it's like, I guess the best way to describe with anything I'm doing, when I'm talking divination, when I'm talking telling, the yes, the no's, the what ifs, the future kind of casting stuff, I do feel like I'm speaking with my own kind of guide. In 100%. Terms of the energy around it. So I'm like pulling that energy in and utilizing that to kind of pull that answer out.
That makes so much sense to me. Like, for sure. Connecting with whatever you need to connect with. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it can be, I don't know. I feel like if it clicks with you, it will click and it won't. I guess for me, it's kind of like with tarot. Like it doesn't so much matter as long as I'm getting the good and answer, I guess is the best way I think of to express
the most helpful answer.
The most helpful answer, the most accurate answer. That to me is more important than the rest of it.
Me too. I don't usually, that's one thing that I will say, like I don't usually put a name to it. To what I'm divining with, like the energy. I kind of mostly call it energy, if I'm being honest. With the energy that I'm utilizing to do my divination, I don't usually put a name to it unless I am specifically going to a deity or specifically going to my ancestors. So I will go to, those specific energies, or I will utilize the energy of whatever I am trying to figure out, whether that's going into someone else's energy and trying to read what's there, or using mine to kind of pull that energy in.
Yeah. I feel like that makes total sense. Also, I think what you said earlier, and I don't want it to get like missed, is we often think that we're speaking with or communicating with something with, I don't know how to describe this, something with like intelligence, if that makes sense. But I think there's something to be said for tapping into elemental energies, tapping into natural energies that surround us. I think that there's like something to be said for tapping into like earth or tapping into water or fire or air.
Hopefully with because I saw you were doing the work for the Fairies Oracle, and that whole book kind of goes through it, but like it gives some clues for that. But that is one thing that I am very That's a very big part of my practice from when I started to right now, and to what I used to do. When I think back, the things that I did as a kid that I literally do in magical work now
Yeah.
is the same. Because
love
I
that.
used to sit outside and I would let the wind guide me somewhere.
I've done that too.
And
Oh my
so,
gosh, I
like,
love that.
again, it's that nature, that earth that will pull me. So, like, sometimes there'll be like a specific tree where I'm just like, I gotta go over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I will allow
Absolutely.
that to guide me into whatever. And I'll usually find something cool, or like it just has a whole vibe to it. Or it's just somewhere really beautiful that I feel really comfortable in. And
Oh, I
so,
love that.
again, another thing to use with your pendulum is if you're
Yeah.
walking outside, allow it to move and guide you
Guide.
somewhere. And
I
that's
love
where, again,
that.
I feel that connection with the earth. It's kind of that earthy energy.
Have you ever worked with, I've never even held them in my hand, so I don't even know what they feel like, but dowsing rods?
I have never held them in my hands either. I've never used them.
I would love, that feels like exactly what you're describing, because I think that's the point of dowsing rods, isn't it? That they connect. Has anybody in the chat? And also there's a question from Micah I think we should answer if you want to. But yeah. But like dowsing rod, just like I've seen people do them and I'm like, I don't understand. It looks like very pendulum like, but like it's really meant to tap into vibration, or like how does it? I want to hear from somebody who's held them.
Please, yes, please tell us, because I wanted to say something about that, because the podcast that I listened to the last time, I listened to Last Pod on the Left. Most people don't like it. It's fine. I love them. But the last time they were in New Orleans, they went somewhere and they used dowsing rods, and the boys were blown away.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I've seen
they were like, this is bullshit. And they were like, no, it's the most legit thing I've ever done in my entire life. They were all like convinced and blown away, which I'm like, okay, if somebody who was like, this is bullshit, used them and was like, this is not bullshit, I want to utilize them. It's always intrigued me. I used to do it with sticks when I was little. I used to pretend with sticks when I was little.
Yeah, because they look like they're very like maybe they're made out of like metal, or they feel like they're very like sensitive. I'm so curious, and where do you get them? I feel like I need to try them but they do seem like they'd be something that works outside.
Yeah. Well, they used to be used to find water. At least that's what I
thought.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
So cool.
Okay.
So cool. Okay. You go first.
Okay, my vibe, I say no. But there's a caveat. It really depends on your belief structure, because here's how I think about this. If you believe that there are negative energies that can access you through methods like this, then absolutely you should protect yourself. Because I feel like, for lack of a better way to explain my thoughts on this, I think that if you really believe that's out there, that you have, whether or not that is like an objective truth, if it's true for you, there's a chance that you're going to be affected by that, if that makes any sense. I don't know how else to say that properly. So for me, I have often used protective energy or protective work in general in my practice, but 9 times out of 10, that is protective around negative energy that is either consciously or subconsciously being sent my way by other human beings. So I don't typically in my own practice have a lot of fear around other energies or other entities accessing me uninvited, with the only exception being specifically when I have done ancestor work. Then I have some very specific protections, because I don't want to talk to or connect with ancestral energies that do not have my best interest at heart. That's my only caveat. So there, I do think there's an impact, because I do have an energetic link to my ancestors. But outside of that, for me, I would say no. What about you?
I feel like if you're susceptible to other people's energies, like if you're an empath and you have a lot of trouble separating your own energy, absolutely. And the only reason I say that is because I know for me, at first I did, but I'm so like, I don't want to be like, I'm so good at blocking it out, but like, no, not in that way. But like, I've done this and dealt with this stuff since I was a really little kid, where energies used to affect me a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of learned how to turn that off, sometimes too good. So for me, I know that, and I know with some of the people and some of my friends around me, they're really susceptible to other people's energy. So if you're going to be diving into any other energy that is not your own, and you are susceptible to it, yes, because not because there's, in my opinion, there's nothing that's going to hurt you.
Right.
You will feel drained and you will feel tired.
Yes,
and you will hold some of that and you might not know where that's coming from. So if you're susceptible to that in general, I always say try to learn how to protect your own energy. But for me, when I'm going into something, I've already got my boundaries set.
Yeah, it's tough for, especially anybody out there who is empathic. We often, hopefully, just as a natural like survival thing, sort of learn how to protect our energy. That's the same thing. And what you're describing, I've absolutely experienced. I have been around energy that has lingered or stuck or pulled or weighed me down and not fully known where it sourced. And then if I think about events or I think about where I've been or who I've been around, I can usually sort that out. But it's much better if you can proactively learn to guard your own, kind of protect your peace in that way. I do 100%. I've had that experience for sure. Yeah.
Now, somebody had said something about clearing that requires a specific clearing of energy. Now, in that sense, if I have done a reading for someone and I did not like the energy that I encountered, I will do a cleanse.
Yeah.
I am more likely to cleanse my energy after I have done something than I am to do a ritual to protect my energy, because I'm usually going in there knowing where I'm going or with a good idea of where I'm going. And if shit goes sideways, excuse my French, I will take action from there. But it is typically an energy that I'm just like, I just feel like it's on me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I do things already. I didn't know I don't remember. If that's probably is that from my Witchcraft 101 series? I might have. I don't remember.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. Okay, go check that out, I guess. I don't know.
And like, again, if I'm doing something, if I'm going somewhere where like I will put protection around myself or my family or around someone who may need it, who has asked me to do so.
Absolutely.
That's just me. Someone who has asked me to do so. I will definitely do that. Absolutely. But I have to say I'm with Lisa, and sometimes things shift and move. I do believe that there are energies that will stay stuck, but I don't believe that there is something innately that will harm me. But I don't mess in spheres that make me feel that way. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So I'm not going.
There's a lot of fear. Yeah. I want to say fear mongering. I don't know if that's fair, but there can be in certain circles. You can definitely be exposed to be like, watch out for like the demons. They're going to get in and whatever. And I don't buy into that stuff. But that being said, again, I think that anything we believe in does hold power. Therefore, if it feels real to you, it's something worth protecting yourself from, regardless.
Agreed. Because just because I don't believe in that doesn't mean that I don't believe that there are not energies around us. And if 100%. There is energy around you to manipulate, because that's how I read, I consider myself an energy reader, whether I'm using tarot or pendulums or coins or rune. Like I am reading the energy around me. I'm reading the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there are not always good feeling energies. So there is stuff that can creep in. And I feel like if you are more susceptible, then that is something that you need to be doing. Mm-hmm. But again, like for me, there was a point where I worried about that, but that was a lot of religious dogma. Mm-hmm. And I sit and I think about the things, again, I was very young when stuff like this started to kind of manifest itself and I started to notice. And, you know, even my mom will tell stories from when I'm young, like when I was young and I just like wouldn't go into certain rooms or I didn't want to go into certain places or, you know, things like that. And so it's like, because I've encountered energies that I don't like, again, I feel like I'm more aware, just, well, like, it's like a subconscious level where like I already have my blocks up. So I usually don't do a lot of prep as much as like someone would that maybe is new. Like when I started doing new things, I was kind of worried about that. And so I focused on that. But then I realized I'm like, girl. Like if you literally go into this energy where you're walking into, there's already a sheet up. Like there's already a block up. You know, it's already there.
Yeah.
Like
you can do it subconsciously. I think in the beginning, though, I definitely, and that you bring up a really good point. When I was new to a lot of this stuff, I did a lot more active, proactive protection work. And one of my favorite things, and Allison just said this, taking a single object you own, it doesn't matter what it is, honestly, crystals are great, but it doesn't have to be so specific if you don't want it to be, but taking any object, could be a necklace you wear all the time, could be, I have earrings in my ears all the time. There is nothing I wear that does not have some sort of energetic magical layer. For starters, but taking anything that you use or wear or have handy and infusing that with an intention, and then you can just throw that on, bring it with you, or use it whenever you're using whatever item you're going to work with. It can give that sense of like, okay, I've already done this work. I've put my energy into it. It's covered. I'm good, you know? And I think that is really good. Like this has a lot of protection in it, right? Like it just, yes. I love that. What is that? That's amazing. I love the jingle.
I do too. This is one of those objects. Matter of fact, I realized when you were saying it, I was like, mine fell on the floor yesterday. Because I was rooting around back there and it fell on the floor and I was like, I need to pick it up, but then I want to show you. Like, I keep this wherever I'm reading because that's one of those things for me. Number one, I love the way it feels, but I have I put intention upon this. This helps bring in that energy for me. It holds that kind of that space of if I need anything there, it's protective. It's it draws in. It kind of has that like it's my fortune teller vibes.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the best way I can describe that.
I love it.
While I don't say that I am a fortune teller, that's the best way to describe this. This is those fortune teller vibes for me. This is kind of what holds that. It brings in that sound. It moves around the energy. It pulls in the energy that I need, and it protects me from what I need. And then I have my, hunk of tourmaline.
Yeah.
That's it. So those things sit around my desk. So I'm like, you girls prepared.
Like I have this. I
love
love this.
And be prepared. Oh my God, I love that. Is that a sound maker?
Yeah. This has the best sound, and I've never been able to replace it yet. There's something very organic about the shaky sound. I love it. And my handle kind of fell off, so Peggy tied some ribbon on or something for me. So it was really spiky there. But I love this one. I have another one, but it's not nearly as satisfying. I love this kind of thing. And this is my favorite way. It works it's the most effective thing I've ever had for, I've just done some cards, or I've just done a reading, or maybe I have got something kind of sticky energetically that feels like it's clinging. It's literally like that breath of fresh air, and it feels so good. And I've always like little things that you
that's what this for me. And that's why I love the shaking and I love the sound. And that's why I've always kept it, and I'll like roll it in my hand before I start and like shove it on the side. Like it's always around because of that. There's something about the noises. I have a bell, but I don't use it often. Now, when I clean my altar, I will ring the bell and clean out the space.
Yeah.
But this is, oh, I love that sound.
That's satisfying. Yeah. Oh, I love clinky things for sure.
Me too.
Okay. Non-tarot divination methods that are also not all these other objects. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. Hold on. Let me pop these things back over here because I do have a few of those. So
where's my?
I have this one. I have this. I have never used it. This one, but it reminds me of
Which one? Sorry, I was looking somewhere else.
I haven't shown it yet.
Okay.
It reminds me of like the 8-ball.
Oh.
And it is the Illuminator's amulet. And it is ask me a question. Okay, this is, I never used it. But it's literally like shuffle and pull again. Take it to the altar. Stand in your power. Ooh. By all means, yes. A block exists. The opportunity is approaching. It's got a yes or no. It is an enigma. Loosen your grip. So it's kind of like.
I love that. I love that so much. Oh my God,
it's so cool, but I never think to go there. I never think to go there. I had it sitting. It sits by my Harry Potter stuff that's on the side right here. So I have like my like little Funko Pop, my Hermione and all that stuff, and my 2 Harry Potter decks plus the little one that I started. My little I think I showed it somewhere on here, probably years ago, where I just created a Major Arcana. But I have all those kind of things, all my Harry Potter stuff set up there. And I got this in. I thought it was really cool. I looked through it. I pulled a few cards and then I put it on the shelf and I never went back to it. I just never went back. Yeah.
Oh, can't find one of my decks and it's driving me crazy.
Like this? Do y'all use something like this?
I don't have anything like that. I have, I'm trying to think. I have like affirmation oracles and things, but it's not the same thing. Nothing like that, but I've seen things like that, but they've never had enough cards. How many cards does that have?
Oh, this has quite a few. 44.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot. Because the ones I've seen like little, they're always like 13 or 14, kind of like little ones. That one's nice because it's got so many cards.
Yeah, and a lot of it is like yes or no kind of answers, really. Like, or like ask again, or, things like that. Like, I don't know. It's got a lot of yeses, a lot of no's, like a lot of firm yeses, a lot of like it's that.
Excuse me.
But that's the only one I have like that.
Yeah, I don't have anything else in that style that I can think of. I'm like racking my brain, but no, I don't think so. I think I either go kind of like full in Oracle or yeah, I feel like no.
Yeah.
13 cards. Okay, that's the crystal ball one. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you these first and then I'll go and hunt for that while you're showing some other stuff. But
yeah.
When it comes to divination, aside from tarot and oracle, because these, I guess you could call some of these an oracle, but not really. Not these. I use different systems. So, of course, we both use Lenormand.
I can't find one of my Lenormand decks. It's driving me crazy. Just in case y'all wonder why I'm being squirrely as hell. That's why.
This is my baby. This is my favorite. This is my baby.
I can't. Your baby is so good. And I have one that's kind of similar that I really wanted to show and I can't find it. I've shown it in every Let's Learn Lenormand Together video. And for some reason.
Oh, yes.
My little Grand Tableau. I think it's called
the Grand Tableau one. Yeah.
Can't find it. It's like literally gone running away.
This is my ride or die Lenormand. It looks like trash.
I love that so much. This is one of my favorites too. This is the cute little.
Oh, that's cute.
This is the one that comes with the book, that cute little Lenormand book, and it's adorable. And I haven't shown it much on my series because I've been using all the other ones, but this one is so great. It's so clean and clear and adorable. It's such a different vibe.
It definitely is. Like this, when I read, this is what I use. Or it's that one or the Bluebird Lenormand, but it has words on the Bluebird Lenormand, so I don't use it as often.
Oh, yeah. I don't like it when they have too many words.
Because sometimes it distracts me because there's like a little paragraph in it.
I love how they handled the people in this one. It's partner and querent, which I think is super cute. Oh, see, I looked at that one. I almost picked that one up, but I didn't.
I love the images, but sometimes it's like, okay, so 36 is cross, so there are burdens, but it says a cross weaves pain historically sad. A distance too close means tidings are bad. Suffering increases, but when the cross is near, but burdens can lift if you persevere. So there's these little like things, but like that's a little too many words for me sometimes.
Yeah, so I feel like I'd end up looking at that.
Yeah, I either have to ignore it or use something different. But I love the way it was set. I wish it was this without the words on it.
Oh.
Or maybe just like if there's a coffin, instead of having the full thing about, oh, you found it! A full thing about illness, just put illness on there.
This one is so great and it's so cheap. I freaking love it. It has these backs.
Oh, those are pretty.
But there's no titles on it, just the playing cards and the image.
Very similar to the one I use. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yep. This is very, very similar. And I was so excited about this. I think I paid like $12 or $13 Canadian for this on Amazon because it was the Spanish version. I'm like, hello, there's no titles. And also the guidebook's in English. So I don't know why they said Spanish version, but whatever. So I got it for real cheap. But
With
I love
Lenormand,
it.
I don't care what language it's in, as long as
Like,
it's got the
legit.
number. The,
Yeah, I don't care.
there's usually no.
But I
words.
love this one. This is probably my favorite. Well, this one, and I didn't grab it because my work bag's in the other room, but in my work bag I always carry, or in my purse I always carry one, and it's that little
That little one.
what is that one called?
It's like sepia colored almost, huh? Or is it black and white?
It's kind of grayish sepia,
Like a
I
gray
guess.
tone. Okay.
Yeah, like
I know the
pale
exact
gray
one
with
you're
like a bit of warmth to it. It's kind of like a warm gray. But that one, it's little and it's so broken in because I've used it for years and years, and I always chuck it in my bag or my purse. Midia, thank you very much, Afton. I appreciate that. Yeah, the
Whoa,
Midia Lenormand.
Okay.
And now there's a version in color with a little bit of splashes of color on it, but it's the mini Midia, and it's like teeny tiny. It's like probably like that
Oh my
size.
god.
So it's perfect to just have. It's perfect. I love it so much. What about
See,
oh, go ahead.
I've never used this one, but I do have Hilda.
Oh, Hilda.
I haven't said it yet because there's like 2 different riders. You can pick whichever rider you want, her on the broom or her in there on the bike.
Cute. I love that.
Look at the clouds, y'all. So cute. I love Hilda. Again, this is my ride or die. Like this. So I have trouble. So I also have this one. I do like. I thought I was gonna keep the extra cards in there, but I didn't. I pulled them out. I was like, no. They were cool, but my
extra cards, no, for me most of the time.
I'm just like a no.
I want the basics.
But this one is great. It's that fairy tale one. This one is
right. You showed me this one. That one is super cute.
I thought it was going to be too loud with the borders. Fairy Tale Dream. I was like, it's Fairy Tale Dream Tarot.
Yeah, that one is.
Lenormand.
I said, but they reached out to me, and I think I said no because I was worried about the busyness. To be honest,
but I really did like after working with it. I really do. I do like it.
Yeah,
but I will always go back.
Yeah, I have to say one that I always recommend to people because it's really good if you want like a good set and you're not really into the whole cute one that I always talk about. The cute little Lenormand. The Celtic is really, really good because it is busier. But here's the thing: you have this is what the artwork looks like. It's by the same guy that did the Druidcraft, Will Worthington artwork. It's really good. It is, like I said, busier than others. But one of the really great things about this one that is I've never seen. Yeah, there's a cat or there's a. I was gonna say there's a cat instead of a dog. I'm gonna show you, but so like this is the tree, right? That I've got in mine. That's like an oak tree. But there's extra people cards and stuff. I have like the birds are my owl card, which is super awesome. But in the box, along with all the cards that come, you get so many little ones to trade out. So you can have this birds instead of the owls if you want. You can also have chickens instead of the owls if you want. There's a holly tree instead of the oak tree if you want. There's a transformation snake shedding its skin instead of the more angry looking snake. So if you work with snake as transformation, there's a different rider. There's different people cards. There's a cat instead of a dog. And the child, there's an alternate child where they're playing with a chicken.
Oh my god.
Whatever. I know. So what I love about this is that it gives you so many options to customize. So I keep my customized cards under the little paper tray thing so I can always swap them out later if I want. But it's actually, I love that they let you really make the deck your own with those kinds of changes. Some of these ones I do struggle with. Like this is the tower, but it's not tall. So it kind of throws me a bit. I know the number, so it's fine.
Yeah, I would struggle with that one. I think I would be like, wait, is that the home or is that the tower?
Yeah, because like this is the house. It's smaller, but they're So if you know the numbers, it's fine. There isn't the playing card associations are super subtle, and there isn't any titles. I sometimes think that if somebody has a Lenormand that's a lot busier, it is helpful to have the titles right on the cards. But this is so beautiful, and it's a favorite. I don't reach for it a lot because the imagery is so busy, but it also comes with a pretty chunky little book with lots of info, including how to work with the Lenormand in there's a spiritual reading as well as a regular meaning, and also how to work with them in spell work. So if you're somebody that wants to pull magic in with your Lenormand, this one's really cool. So I always talk about it because it's mass market, and for as long as it's in print, I think it's worthwhile if you want to like set like with a good book and whatever.
See, I would not have gone towards that, but like now seeing it, that's something I might, whatever. I feel like such a snob sometimes. I don't care how anyone reads their stuff. Y'all can read however you want. But like for me personally, if somebody to tell me to read certain cards as good when I know that traditionally, like it's that, like, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I get like that with, I'm going to air quote fortune telling cards over tarot. Tarot, I feel, is so all encompassing. There's so much that goes with it. It's good, it's bad, it can be turned around. There's, there's so much give and take. Some people don't read tarot that way.
Yeah.
But that and regular oracle, I allow for more movement.
Yeah.
But like for me, the snake in Lenormand, the snake is bad as bad as bad.
Same.
I can't with the, like, no, it is not a transfer. That is a bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
But that's, and like for me.
Yeah.
Y'all
I think that's the thing. Like, I actually went through a period of time where in my Lenormand, I did use the snake as transformation because I was just mad because I'm like, snakes get such a bad rap. But okay, so I did work with it for a time, but I did feel the shift in the balance, right? I was like, I felt that shift in the balance. There was nothing to replace it then. So then who is your snake in the deck then if you don't have the snake? So you have the fox, but the fox for me is more cunning. They can be manipulative, but it's like the magician. It's a much more, to me, neutral energy that can tip either way. But with the snake, it's a snake. Like, you know.
It's dangerous. And I think that's the whole thing. It's like, it's not even about it's bad. Like, literally think of a snake.
Yeah.
Unless you are on point and you know how to identify, snakes are dangerous, period.
Yeah.
Danger.
They're danger noodles.
It's right there in the name, bro. And that's why I'm like, in Lenormand, for me, there are negative cards.
Absolutely.
There are neutral cards, and there are positive cards.
100%.
Period.
100%.
And that's just how I read. But I also feel that way in playing cards. Honey, a spade is a spade is a spade.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, and so 100%. I find myself, again, when it's not a tarot oracle situation, I am a very much like, it is what it is. We're going for truth. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not coming from some esoteric advice. We're coming for divination.
Yeah.
We're coming for answers. You want it straight. Now, you can do whatever you want, but I'm telling you, if you do it this way, the energy right now says it's not going to work out good. This is not going to be easy. This is not going to be fun, and I'm not going to lie to you. If you're coming to 100%. Me and you want me to use those kind of decks, then you are going to get those kinds of answers, which is why I don't do it for a lot of people.
No, because
it's much like discretion.
It's not going to hold your hand the same way as other systems.
It will not. It will
for sure. And Lenormand's like that for me. It's like my straight shooter. Like if I want the blunt, like direct, what's going on? Lenormand's great for that. Do you use this? I got thinking because I was digging for my Lenormand deck and I dug something up that I think works like this. But do you do anything with like bibliomancy type stuff?
Not
so like
not
reading
often, but I have.
Yeah, because I got this deck. This came out. I saw Benabel talking about it. It's Foolish Fishes, Folk and Fairy Tale Cards of Fate and Fortune. This.
Oh.
And what this is, I feel like it'd be up your alley. So they're little cards. They're like Trump size, I believe is the size. So that's the backs. They are like basically just quotes from fairy tales.
Oh, that's fun.
So it pairs well with a lot of stuff, which is super fun. But it is a very bibliomantic kind of way to work with it. And I was looking at this and I was also thinking that there are other decks that have done this where instead of meanings or keywords or whatever, it's like bits of text. Like there is an Alice Oracle. I need to try to remember the name and find it again. Because now that I've worked with this, I'm kind of like, I probably really like that. But it's like basically quotes from the Alice books kind of spread out, I believe, over cards, if I remember correctly.
See, that's really interesting. Okay, because
it's like a tactile way to do bibliomancy.
Yeah, I have a certain decks, especially my but it's the botanical inspirations that have quotes on it. And when it goes to bibliomancy and stuff like that, there are some times where I will completely ignore those words. And sometimes there is a singular word that will pop out to me that I'm like, okay, that's important. So we're going to talk about this because I keep seeing this word. So this word is obviously important. So in those terms, bibliomancy, or when I'm doing something and a word will stick out to me, I will go to that space. Like, you know, if I am, especially when I'm doing readings, if I have something out or if I'm writing something in a book or if I have a book out and something starts to catch my eye, I will immediately go to that. Or if I am using a deck that I'm not familiar with, sometimes I will open the guidebook and whatever word pokes out, I'm going to read that sentence or I'm going to read around it, or I'm just going to hold that particular word because that's what came out to me versus reading the whole thing.
Yeah. There's also a couple books out there. I had one. I don't know if I still do. I don't imagine. I might have let it go because I wasn't using it. But I had a book where it's got like deck-edged pages, and each page had a different little message, and so you could just kind of thumb through and open. It was meant for that. It was like a book meant for bibliomancy. But I've also done that with. I have a whole chunk by my nightstand of books that have little bits of wisdom. So they're everything from there's a Book of Awakening, which was like a bestseller a long time ago, but it's really good for this. And there's a few others. I have poetry books that are really great for this too, where I will pull it off my nightstand like before bed, right? And just flick through and like whatever page, that's the wisdom for that day or whatever. And I've really enjoyed that practice. Doing that with poetry books is really nice. And it just feels so like you're getting an answer meant for you in that moment. It feels very, and there's that bit of tactile of like thumbing through the pages, right?
Sure.
Ruby just said, I've heard of people using Spotify for divination, either a playlist or what they see somewhere.
I love that.
That is so fun.
I do that with music. There are sometimes, like, even my husband and I, we're pretty keen on stuff like that. Like, we'll be talking about something and discussing something, and then because we often have music on in the background. We're a music kind of family, and it's like we'll stop and something will be on, and we're like, okay,
yep.
I see what you did there. You know, it's like those certain things. So like, I love the idea of that because music is always a huge staple in our household. And we'll do that just like offhand and be like, do you hear what's on right now? Like, did you just hear what they said in this song? Did you hear that lyric? You know?
Yes. It's almost like, it feels like something's listening to and giving you the message you need in that moment. I feel like that happens whenever I'm on random, like music of any kind. I have that happen so often where I'll be listening to something and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, that's speaking into whatever situation I'm in right this moment. That is the coolest experience when that happens. I'm trying to find that Alice Oracle I was thinking of too, but I can't find it.
Try to find that. So I know you don't use this. So while you're looking for that, I will talk about Kipper, which is my new
get into it
section because I'm so on it. And again,
I want you to get me into Kipper, so I'm going to grab my deck so we can talk about it.
I love it so much.
Because I have one. I just haven't learned how to use it.
Okay. So I have two different Kippers. So I have the Siren Song, which I do love. It's my marriage card. Are they cute?
I had that one for a short time. I couldn't. They were creeping me out. I couldn't.
Oh, well, yeah, you don't like that. Yeah, I like the tentacles.
I couldn't. I tried.
So Kipper is so freaking interesting to me. I love the directionality of it. I love the way that it reads. And I have read for myself and I have read for others already. And I am obsessed with what can come out with these Kipper cards. Like, it is very much the same feeling I got when I started reading Lenormand, where it's like, oh, I know this.
Yeah, interesting.
I feel this out. Like, I get it. Like, I do want to do some Kipper things, but I will start out with a caveat. Like, please don't come to me if you want buy the book stuff. Y'all know I'm not. I will learn and then I will do my own thing and I'll do what works for me. So, but it's very interesting. I'm learning a little bit of the background with the stop and the connections. The rainbow.
Yeah, that's pretty. This is the one that I have. This is Tony and Stephen Bright.
This is I'm going to show and somebody else in Paris.
This is color. It's color coded. So, but I don't know how to work with it yet. But like we have like Good Lady is green and Court Official is this pinky color. We've got red for His Thoughts Journey.
You know me better than that.
I know.
I
You're
need
gonna
those
have
old
some,
school.
I know you do, but I need to know that. I need to know, like, is prison in there? Like, I don't know if this is
Yes.
like a modernized. Okay.
That's no, that is something for being stuck. That's like it's a prison. It's
Okay. Like
got
it's
you. It's
holding
got
you.
you hold. You in a hold. You're stuck. You're in there.
I
But a
think the
prison
reason I
you
haven't
can get
gotten
out
in.
of.
Okay.
Prison you can get out of.
I was going to say that this is the thing that I think has stopped me from taking time to learn this. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this. But I see a card like sad news or short illness, and it feels so specific.
Okay, but wait. Short illness can also talk about sex.
How?
It can, because you going away. It's a short illness. They used to think that sex was not.
Oh, the little death.
Yes, the little death. And it wasn't a good thing, right? You weren't supposed to be doing that. Your short illness, your little death.
Legit? Okay.
Legit.
Okay. Then talk to me about unexpected money.
Unexpected money is a small little piece of luck, right? It's something.
Clover.
It doesn't. It's like a little clover. But then you also have big luck, which is something that is coming in that's bigger. Again, it's little.
Gloomy thoughts.
Gloomy thoughts. That
I'm just gonna
seeing where that thing is pointing. Do you see how it's down?
Yeah.
Okay, so your gloomy thoughts, you're going to want to see where those gloomy thoughts are coming from. This could be something that's bothering you, but wherever that's pointing is going to tell you more about what's causing those thoughts and what's behind those thoughts, right?
Okay, rich gent.
Okay, that can be financial. That can be someone middle-aged or younger, right, that's in your life. So we kind of have a family. We have the child, we have the rich gent, and or whatever it's called, and whatever that are the rich girl. Now the rich girl can be kind of that frenemy. It could talk of an affair. We also have the good gent and the good lady, or whatever it's named. So these could be father figures, mother figures. It could be a boss.
Okay,
military person is a stop. Where is his gun pointing towards? What do you need to stop? What do you need more rigidity in? What do you need, things like that. I'm telling you, it's not what you think.
Okay, I'm going to have to play.
That's the big, I'm telling y'all.
That's the big luck. Okay.
I'm obsessed with Kipper right now. It is so much fun. I do have the Gypsy Fortune Teller cards. I read them very much kind of like Kipper. What is that one? Hope Great Water. That is exactly what you want. That is what you're hoping for. That is what you're dreaming for. That's the end all be all.
All right. There's rich girl, long way expectation, good gent, marriage.
Marriage, that could be communication. That could be connection. That could be an actual marriage. That could be a contract.
Okay, does this feel balanced to you? Do you feel like there's enough good, bad, and neutral to balance, like in Lenormand?
Because there are bad things. There is grief. There is, sad thoughts. There is all that stuff.
Right? Main character, like 1, 2, like you would do with Lenormand.
Okay, no, different in Kipper. Doesn't matter the gender you pick, but you always have a man and a woman. Well, for the most part, you can do whatever you want. People do it in different ways, but if you have a man and a woman, it does not matter. Whatever you are looking towards, like if you want to identify as the number 1, as the man, then that is your card. And the number 2, the woman that will come out, whoever that is, you're looking, where are they facing? How far apart are they? They are the other person in your life that will be the most with you. Whether that be your partner.
Should you pick a set that face each other, right? Like with Lenormand?
You want them to face each other, like.
But I mean, like, okay, like if I pick like this,
they're not going to be both facing one way. Yeah, you can't do that.
Okay. Yeah. So you do it like with Lenormand where you have them facing.
You have to have them facing because you need to see, are they facing each other? Are they back to back? Is one above the other? And you kind of base stuff there. It's so interesting to me. And I love the way it's set up.
How does this feel different than Lenormand to you? Because that's the big question I have. That's the big question.
Because it's not like a sentence. Like I use Lenormand very much sentence based.
Okay.
This doesn't feel as sentence based.
Huh.
And I feel like I jump around more with this. I pay attention to the direction more so than I do with Lenormand, because with Lenormand, I pay attention to direction, but not like Kipper. Like with Kipper, when I got the thief, I want to know what are we stealing from? So I'm gonna look on whatever side she's stealing from, and then or like whatever. So you're looking for where they're stealing from or what they're stealing, like who they're stealing from.
Yeah.
What do they feel like? What are they turned away from? What are they hiding?
Yeah.
Who are they hiding this theft from? Like there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
That just excites the hell out of me.
So when you think of Lenormand, Kipper, and I want to talk playing cards too. When you think of Lenormand, Kipper, and playing cards, can you give us, like, I guess, an overview of how these systems feel similar or different?
Okay. To me,
or why you might reach for one over the other, kind of.
Yes. So for me, they all feel like they are going to be more definitive, in my opinion. Don't come at me. Than a tarot or an oracle. They're going to be number one.
All
they're
three.
more definitive.
All three of them.
All three of them.
Okay.
Lenormand, I'm going to go to, if I want to talk about my job, period, I'm going to Lenormand and I'm finding whatever. Am I looking at the boss? Am I looking for the bear? Or am I looking for the tower? Or am I looking for, like I have a specific thing in mind most of the time. I'm just saying like why I would pick one up over the other. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And I'm listening. I'm grabbing something, but yeah.
I want to know about this particular issue. So I'm going to go to Lenormand to find out the sentence, the structure, what's all around it.
Like what's happening. Yeah.
What's happening. Ow. Now for Kipper, I want to come to, like, for me right now, I'm coming to it to find out about a situation, a big picture situation. So with Kipper, I've only done 9 or above. I have never done, I'm going to choose 3 cards for Kipper. I have chose 9 or above. Yeah. I'm going 9 or I'm going a full tableau.
Yeah.
Because with that, I can literally talk about any aspect that I need, in my opinion.
You sound like you picked this up, Kipper, and like memorized it in like 24 hours. That's what it sounds like to me.
So that's what it felt like to me.
Interesting. Did you find it easier than Lenormand to pick up?
Yes. And I thought Lenormand was so simple to pick up.
Yeah. I've actually struggled a bit with Lenormand, which makes me wonder.
Okay, now I'm not perfect with Lenormand because sometimes I wish I was more fluent in the
like the houses.
The houses. I never remember the houses. I can't remember that. But like I wish I was better with, like, some people, like, they do them in pairs. So like when it's this beside this, it means this automatically. I still struggle with that. Sometimes.
Oh, so you look at them singularly more. I look at them in combos almost always.
I look at them in groups of 3. It's how
I struggle with 3. It's so much easier for me to do groups of 2 than groups of 3.
I think groups of 2 would probably be easier. I guess I started learning in groups of 3, and so that's where my brain works.
Yeah.
So
I think that's better in tableau though, is groups of 3.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the tableau and Kipper.
Okay, we'll play with it because we're getting together. We're gonna play with.
Yeah, we're gonna play. I'm telling you, it's.
I want to do both. I want to do
right
Kipper
now.
And
It's
just
my favorite. Now, if I want real talk, I don't want you to sugarcoat nothing. I want to be real with you. I want. I want it. I'm going to play cards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not looking to get a wide scope of anything. I want to know.
Yeah, take me into it.
I'm going to playing cards.
When you read playing cards, and speaking of which, I have something to show you. Look what I got in.
You got him in?
I got him in. I was waiting to show you, like, in real time.
Oh my god!
Look at this is Dani's petite fille. Oh my god! I have already gone through it a number of times, but I want to show it.
Oh my god! Yay!
It's on that beautiful cardstock.
Don't you love the cardstock?
It's incredible. This is the same as that Magical Nature Tarot, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It is. I love your chunky hand-drawn hearts. I love every. I love the faces. Look at his face. It's the freaking best. Look at her face. Oh my god. I've never noticed that before. Oh my god.
They're so fun. They're so fun.
It's got so much character. There's all the spades. I want to show more of the Are all my spades upside down? Probably. Does it matter? I guess it
Doesn't
doesn't matter, right?
I don't. It does have spade.
You
Is
don't
a
read
spade.
reversals. Okay, cool.
I don't.
But the faces on these quartz are something else. But what I was going to ask you is when you do playing card readings, let me bring them in so you can see. These are on your Make Playing Card shop,
Yes.
right? Link is in the description box, I assume.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. I don't have to yell at you. Like I always yell at Dawn. Like, put your shit in the description box.
I do. I put it in there.
Good. I'm just gonna show the rest of the quartz up close because the camera's behaving. But when you pull a playing card reading, do you have a certain like number of cards, layout? What do you do?
I usually don't have a certain number of cards. Depending upon what I'm asking will depend on how many I pull.
Jokers.
Because if it's something like a yes or no,
yeah,
I can pull one card and I can give you an answer right away.
Yeah.
If it's will this go good, I will probably pull 3 because I want to see like how is it gonna go. And in those moments, I'll probably use. Okay, so let me shuffle real quick. I'm gonna pull 3.
Do you shuffle your jokers in?
Sometimes I do. I use them as kind of wild cards.
Wild cards. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So they'll have a particular meaning. Like sometimes it'll be like, oh, it's going to bring a lot of chaos. So in my deck, if like my pops, so the one that has a smoldering cigarette,
yes,
that would probably throw in chaos.
Right.
You're trying to see through that smoke. So that was a very like. So one cigarette is lit and the other one is put out.
Yes.
This could be something coming to an end. This could be something that you're not seeing or that you need to walk away from. Jokers, I set a meaning in my head before if I have it in.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So how is this going to go? I'm going to pick 3 cards, okay? So the way that they come out is going to tell me, like, look, if I'm looking at it like this, I have 2 hearts and a spade. It's going to go pretty good, but probably at the end, it's going to be a little tough. There's going to be some work that's going to go along with it because we have the 6 and we have clubs and it's black. So it tells me that overall, all the red, it's going to do pretty good. We also have 2. Now, listen, see, I'm already going in. Like, we have 2 paths. Like, you're on the right path, but this path is going to take work. It's not going to be easy. Like, it won't. This is a work card for me. Clubs is not always good. There's, like, it's not easy. Yeah. Clubs are not easy. They're work.
Yeah.
So, like, I would pull 3 cards to be like, okay, I can tell you how this goes. And then my brain will start triggering in with the numerology in there and, like, you know, these are pathways. These are paths that you're on. Good path, bad path, you know, hard path.
Yeah. And then quartz. How do quartz play in for you?
Quartz usually play in as actual people or energies that are going to be there. So if it's like a good energy, like you'll see a red one that probably someone in your family or someone that you're working with or someone like it usually tells me who they are. But they're people. And then I read in the same way that my pop did. So if I'm pulling, like, let's say I'm pulling 36 cards, right? I pull a tableau. If I have from my full deck, if 4 kings show up, or if I'm doing like a 9-card spread and I got 3, like if I got 4 kings, like there's going to be a death somewhere.
Whoa.
If you pull like 3 queens, there's going to be bickering and fighting. If you pull 4, you're going to have company. So you're going to have company over. Or company's going to come to your space. So there's different things like that. Like there's like usually something to do with the law. If you have a certain number of jacks, there might be some kind of legal stuff you have to deal with. So those kind of things will pop up in the way that I read playing cards.
Something I'm kind of noticing as I flip through Petite Fille, right, is that like with Marseille, there's a lot of eye action in the quartz. So do you pull in that directionality? Like what they're looking at?
Sometimes I do, especially I'll pull in the directionality sometimes. But oftentimes I'm constantly looking what's around those.
Because like you pull these side by side and there's like a whole story being told between these 2 characters right now.
Exactly. So that queen might be like a mother or a mother figure. someone that you're really close to, someone that you really love, that really cares about you. They might be in contact with someone who might be able to help you financially. He's kind of coming in. He's got the know-how. He's probably authoritative, but he is a good person to have around.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to want to draw from him. But it could represent someone in your family. You might have like that rich uncle, right? That's always around. And so he might come out always as like a king of diamonds. Because if you need something financially, you're going to go to that person. And each person might have a specific thing for you, you know? Could be brother, sister, mother, family, friend. It just kind of depends on what you're reading. And again, that all goes into, I'm telling you, when I go in playing cards, I'm usually very specific.
Yeah.
So I know who I'm reading for. And so when somebody comes up, I'll be like, okay, I'm seeing this person. Tell me who that is.
Yeah.
Or tell, like, I feel like this person is such and such.
Yeah.
If that's who that is, then this, and this.
Yeah. Oh
right?
my gosh.
So it's a little like, that's kind of how I read that. I read it very much for the person in front of me, with them in mind, and with them being able to give me that feedback. We're talking about a certain thing, because I'll probably be like, okay, what are you working on right now? Because it doesn't seem to be working, because I'm seeing this, and this. So this situation, we need to talk about that, right?
Yep. I love that. By the way, for anybody who picks this up, I did pick up the case I've got mine in is the MPC hinged playing card case. And it's really, it's like a sturdy case. It does not feel chintzy. You know what I mean? It feels really nice. So if you are picking it up and want to add a case, I really like this one. I feel like I can chuck these anywhere and they'll be totally safe. Like it hinges, it snaps closed. Like you can't.
That's really nice. I haven't seen them. I never like saw them, like someone have them in person. I just knew I was going to shove mine in a bag. So
yeah, like if you know you're going to put them in a bag, but I want to be able to, for these, always see them. I'm worried if I put them in a bag, I won't know where I put it, because I don't have a lot of playing card stacks. I've got this one, and the only other one I have, I'm going to throw my shit all over the floor if I'm not careful, is I have this little set, because, and it's the bicycle vintage.
Yeah.
Have you seen these?
I have a vintage one as well.
These are really like distressed. So they're very like, there's the jokers.
These are my mama's. Look how old they are.
Oh my God, that's amazing. But like, look how distressed.
Oh, they're so cool. Yeah, you showed me those.
Yeah.
These are my actual grandma's. There is a tie that binds us to our homes. These are the bulldog playing cards from forever ago that my grandma had. But I have from our New Orleans playing card company, I have Day of the Dolls. And then I have these vintage ones. These are fun because they're like,
that's the real old school right there.
I love these. They're so cool.
Yes.
But like, look at the color theme.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? So I have those, but then I'll use these every once in a while. I don't really use my grandma's. They stay on my altar because they're so old and warped. Like you can see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just kind of keep these up there, but I use my old school kind of just plain back. These are the ones I usually read with.
Just like a classic, eh? Are you going to switch out to your petite fille now, though?
Now my petite fille is right next to these, and I've been using those. So I only use my petite fille right now, obviously.
And you're working on another divination deck, are you not? Have you talked about it publicly?
I will. I'll talk about it a little bit. So I'm working. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish this. I'm going to be straight up honest.
Zero pressure. It's all good. You just play.
I know. I'm playing right now. Let me tuck that back there. But I am. Oh shit! We're at 2 hours. I'm gonna talk about this.
Okay.
I am working on a Mystic Masters Lenormand. I'm not convinced that I can do this.
Yeah, it's hard trying to find the right images and the etchings, and
I know, and it's like the only thing I'm having, like I have found most. I'm gonna say probably maybe 50%.
Yeah.
There are a few that are challenging,
Yeah.
but I don't know how much I love it.
That's valid. That's valid. So it's like, yeah, you can play with it, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Like,
I don't know how much I love it. When I look at these images, I know I need to tone them down for a Lenormand. But I prefer the main image.
What about making a Mystic Masters Kipper instead?
I mean,
because it feels like to me when I see you talk about these systems. Now it could just be new relationship energy, like you know how that is. But
I know, but
at the same time,
so
if it's speaking to you easier or better,
I know.
And I'm kind of thinking of the way Kipper, like just the cards we went through, it feels like it might be easier to find cards that represent those things.
It might
like
be.
etchings, I mean. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I'm just thinking of like what's in there.
The hardest trouble with, I'm going to be honest, is Crossroads.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty hard. Like I can find roads all day. But to find
like a branching path.
Like a branching path that's going to translate when how am I supposed to strip that down?
Oh, because if it's full of stuff and people. Yeah.
Or if it's created upon a landscape, how am I going to shrink that down?
Like you can't crop it. Like, yeah, I was like, what do you mean? Like you crop it. I say like it's so easy. She's like, girl.
No, but I understand. Yes, I would crop it. But let me show you what I'm doing and why I feel like that won't work.
Oh, is there any with a crossroad monument? That's an interesting point. That could be something you could look for. Is a monument.
Oh, maybe so. Okay.
Uh-oh, is it gonna go? Okay. Yeah, let it focus first and then adjust. There we go. So that's the anchor. Oh, see,
do you see how it's got to be set within? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm trying to look and show at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to touch it. You can't see the coloration properly.
There we go. No, you just got it. We just got it. Go. So just don't move it too much.
So you see, I managed to do it with the fox. Now I'm gonna have to wait for this one to go.
And we have the whip.
Okay, so now we have the whip.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to go around those things. So if I just put a big chunk of a picture, it's not going to look cohesive with something that's kind of...
Oh, I know what you mean now. Yeah. Like you need to pull the backgrounds out, basically. So when it's a landscape, how do you pull the backgrounds
out? Do you see? I pulled the whole fox out. But then again, I'm like, ooh, if I can see even a little piece of white, then it's going to look like shit and I'm going to hate it.
Yeah.
Like there are many different things that my brain is doing right now.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the thing, if the process of creating what you actually want takes too much, not that manipulation is a problem, but if it takes too much, it can take you out of it. Like it doesn't feel like it's what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about like when I look at these other Lenormands, how they do like the crossroad. And like usually there is like on these kind, there is backgrounds, but on yours, and like I said, somebody pointed out the monument, which I think is possibly a direction you could go. Because if you could find something where it's focused in on the monument and the path just happens to be there, then potentially if you take that monument out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like this is it in the grand tableau. Like it's still quite landscapey.
It's a landscape, and that's how I would want it to be.
But that doesn't jive necessarily with what you're doing already. But like this mixes them. It mixes like more scenic with more stripped back. So you could have both potentially, but it breaks your brain, doesn't it? You're like, I don't want that. Yeah.
And like honestly, for the Lenormand, it doesn't bother me, but it's all the same illustrations, so that's why.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's all the same illustrations. Whereas like this, there's not as many cards. It's a little like there are still like 2 or 3 cards in the Mystic Masters that I wish I could change. But like there are still some things like I find having to strip it back so much for a Lenormand because there is so much going on in these things, and most Lenormands are pretty stripped back. We had this conversation.
Yeah.
Stripping it back so much doesn't feel like Mystic Masters, doesn't feel like me. Even though I have the images that I love that I would use for it.
Yeah.
Having to strip those images back makes it like, it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would use it at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah, you need to want to use your own stuff. And if it's not dinging those bells for you of like, oh my God, I cannot wait
I want
to
to
get my hands.
like I want to see it, but I'm having trouble translating it. And so right now I'm just kind of like, I'm struggling with it because I'm like, right now, it's boring to me. It's not I want the same style as Mystic Masters, but right now it's just not feeling that way to me. It's too stripped back, and I don't know if I can unstrip a Lenormand. Is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it almost be, you know what would be really cool? Just throwing this out there. What if you played with layers? By which I mean, and just if this, see what you think of this, okay? You know how we've seen decks where, okay, like with this is a perfect example. Where you use the etchings to create the environment, so it's not stripped back at all, and then you overlay a symbol to over top to represent. So it's like a faded etching in the background, and then in the foreground in a dominant color, like in a black or in something really like vivid, you have a symbol to represent, almost like a charm of that Lenormand.
I might have to play with that. I might have to play with the image in the background, because if I can do that, that might scratch that same itch, and I'd be able to utilize the pictures in a better way where I'm not having to try and decide what I need to keep.
Yeah, and you can hand draw. You can just pick any background that has the right energy or vibe of the card. And now what you've done is you've created 2 layers to work with. The foreground symbol that's going to bring the Lenormand right to the front, and then that background if you want to dig in a little bit, which is exactly how we use these. We look at the rune, and then we like also can bring in that background image to add depth to what we're seeing, but we have it stripped back in the foreground. I think you could do something really cool with that would still feel very Mystic Mastery.
Yeah, because even with that, like, I could probably play with that. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, like I'm not like
we
putting
can
you
play with that. We'll see where that
spot.
goes for that part of the divination.
It's still neat to be able to like play with things on your own and see where you land. Absolutely. I still think you should get that fairy rune.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Like, it's on my phone, so I can buy it.
I love that. Y'all, you have no idea. It is not easy. I influence y'all all the time, but it is not easy to influence Miss Dani. Miss Dani is like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. And I'm like, but you do. And I cannot enable you properly. So it's kind of always a little secret mission of mine. Like,
but I backed Discovering Beauty.
You did. I'm so proud.
I did.
The amount of times I bugged Dani. Have you backed it? Have you backed it? Like, legit, it needed to happen. Like, it was going to happen, whether you like it or not. Like, that's where we were headed.
I did it.
Crash
course. Oh my God. But yeah, it is hard. But this one, I'm totally doing that.
No, this is the Runic Odyssey deck, Stardust. So Dani and I both have this, but it's a rune deck, and it's just beautiful. It's so indie, and it's so beautiful. It's just, I love that.
You guys, you were hanging out with us for almost 2.5 hours.
You know why? Because your internet works, and we don't have
my internet works. It works now. Jacob did his job. He got it all done. He was just a superb. I don't know. Would that be an IT guy for a day?
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm gonna fix your." Shut up.
That's
I literally. Okay, but wait. My camera died.
Yeah, we passed the threshold of your camera.
My camera. We didn't even exhaust my internet. He still did the perfect job.
He did great. Oh my God.
The timing, y'all. Listen, obviously it's time to go. My camera was like, girl, shut up. Girl, shut up. It is time to go. All right, you guys, listen. Everything is down below. We have links to mine, links to Lisa's. If you're looking for anything, we're not going to worry about putting links to all this stuff down below. But if you are interested in something, ask. We will definitely get you a link for it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something, just let us know. And with this perfect timing, we bid you adieu. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thanks for hanging out. Bye.
Oh my God. Later, Gators.